Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, Hart?
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going, dude?
Good. Happy Easter or whatever you guys celebrate.
Happy Easter to
Everybody.
you. Happy Easter. We celebrate the chocolate bunnies.
Yep.
Although we didn't get any this year, actually. We didn't go out and bother. At least, unless Vivian has some and didn't tell me. But
Well,
I don't
she's
think
sneaking those.
maybe. But she's not really a sweets person, so I don't know.
Okay.
You wouldn't have a reason to sneak unless she's sneaking them just for Arwen, kind of thing, you know? Yeah. So we're devoid of the chocolates, I guess you could say, for today. Oh, well, it is what it is. To all of you, welcome, first of all.
Yeah, welcome, everyone.
Yeah, let's see. I know I'm expecting a like on other holidays, maybe a little bit of a slower night tonight. Although who knows? Maybe Christmas and New Year's, I always expect literally 3 people to show up, and they've been a couple of dozen. It's been pretty busy, so who the heck knows, right?
Yeah.
I know I do have a few friends who did tell me as I was struggling to put something together for tonight, and I had an idea. So I reached out to a few guys to ask them if they'd be interested in doing it. And all 3 of them said yes, but all 3 of them also said, we have plans for Easter dinner or whatever.
Right,
and so I can make it, but I just don't know when I can make it. I'll, maybe later, or I can make it at the beginning, but then don't know if I can stick or, whatever.
Yeah.
So in the end, I said, it's a little bit, I don't mind if I've got one person with me start to finish and others can come in later, right? But to have all the guests not know when they can show up or not show up or whatever, I was like, no, for the idea that I wanted to do, I liked it too much to sort of do it on a night where I don't know how it's gonna go, so that was that. And then for that reason, I figured, okay, maybe it's busy. It's gonna be busier or less busy than usual. But who knows? We'll see. It's people as usual are creeping in slowly into the room. 19
CJ,
at the moment.
Vivian,
yeah. Let's see.
Mike, NSN.
Howdy, Dwayne's a pain. What is up, Rickster? Good to see you. Happy Easter to you as well. What's up? What's up? Number 1 Marvel fan. Iger, what's up? Good evening to you. And yes, happy Easter to those of you who do observe, and for those of you who don't, happy Sunday, man. Happy Sunday. It's always a great time to see you all here on Sunday nights, regardless of whether it's a holiday or not. So thank you. CJ, what's up? Jason Ladwig, what is up, sir? And yes, my lovely wife, hello to you. Have a heart. I have a heart. And here he is. Or here it is. Here's my heart.
Bad pun. Come on. You can do better.
A man after my own heart. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Heartfelt as ever.
Not too bad. Oh, there you go. Vivian, I think you already said hello. See, I'm coming in after. You're always ahead of me, Hart,
Yeah.
Buenas noches, Jesus. What is up? Good to see you. Awesome. And the Mikester, happy comic art show and tell. Yes, sir. Yeah, good to see you as always, of course. What? Maki Poo Poo? Come on, Michael. You, of all people, I expected to maybe show up much later. Michael, why aren't you having celebratory Easter dinner? Tell me. I expected you, of all people, to be having that tonight. So this is it's a wonderful surprise, of course, but very surprising. Wow.
Maybe somebody burnt the roast or whatever it is.
Maybe they ate early.
Could be.
Yeah.
Everybody's in a food coma.
Look at that, Dwayne. Dwayne's reminding everybody to make sure they get their discount chocolate tomorrow. Exactly, just like on Halloween, right? Go on the 1st of November and you get all the good stuff for like 90% off. Love that. Hey, Tom, what's up? Happy Easter from Chicago. But I have to go spend with my better half soon. No worries. Thank you for coming in for the few minutes that you can stay, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hi, Jason. Hi, Maki Poo Poo. Hello, all from you. And hello there, Vivian.
Yep.
Evening, Carl. What's up? This is for you, Carl. For you. And for all the DC lovers out there. How about that? Friends with commitments. I don't know. No commitments for me tonight.
Me neither.
Look at that. Yes. Yes, exactly, Mr. Red Jack. Thank you so much for that lovely Easter card you sent us. Again, appreciate it very much. That was very thoughtful and wholly unnecessary, but always appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, chicken breaking at the egg. I think that's what that is. It's so small, it's hard to tell sometimes. Either that or like
it is. Yeah.
A xenomorph breaking out of an egg, maybe? That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. A little creepy, but cool.
Baby chick. Rebirth pages. What about them? What do you mean? What's rebirth pages? What do you mean?
Well, that's in reference to Easter.
Oh, yeah. Okay, of course. Thank you. Of course. Oh, that was,
yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what kind of a cool maybe show it could have done if I had thought of that in advance? Yeah. Like, I don't know, like characters that have died. Well, which is basically the entire Marvel and DC universe.
Right, it is. Yeah.
And then, but I'd have to find the original art for the first appearances once they come back from the dead, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
That would have been an interesting kind of show, you know, on Easter. Yeah.
Or you can find Jesus pages. I don't know. Maybe they're out there.
Maybe. Yeah. Hey, Jared, what is up? Happy Easter. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Maki Poo Poo went out for brunch. Wow, interesting. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Well, good. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it. Thank you. As always, be sure to say hello to darling Mika for me, please. Tell her I said hello, for sure. Cheap hams and hit those likes. Thank you, CJ. Yes, please, if you can hit the thumbs up right here somewhere, we'd appreciate that. I would really very much appreciate that. I'd be very grateful to all of you who could do that. Thank you. If you're here watching, it doesn't take an effort. Just click it right there. Thank you. May not make it next week. No problem. Thank you for letting me know, though. Traveling on Sunday next week. Okay, hopefully you can make it in time. Okay. It is what it is, my friend. That wouldn't be the first time. I remember a few months back when you came in from a flight and you still made it. You still made it here to the show live after being exhausted from your long distance flight. That was crazy. But thank you, my friend. I appreciate it, man. You're ready to see some Superman art. Well, you're going to see some super family art. You will. I appreciate it. And Brian is the man. He is the man. He absolutely is. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Red Jack is Brian. That's who we're talking about.
Superhero says, Superhero says, hi, Rubén and Hart.
Yeah, that was Jared.
Oh, that was Jared. Oh, okay. I did not remember that.
When I said that was Jared Simmons, who I did not my first and only guest who I've done a show and tell with and a hangout episode with.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think he's the first. Have you and I then? Well, now
I don't know.
You've been on so long. You've been on so many times. You may have done both.
I don't know. I forget what I did yesterday. So Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry. Ronald Shepard, what's up, Ronald? Good to see you. Anthony had a bunch of Easter pages on DD. Okay, there you go. I don't attend, so I would not know.
What's DD?
DJ Marcus, the Dueling Dealers.
Oh, Dueling Dealers. Okay.
Yeah. And hellos back and forth to Ronald. Are you going to show us the Elementals #1 cover tonight? Rick, why do you ask that? I'm very curious. Why do you ask that? I want to know why you're asking that. I'm curious. I need to know why you would ask that. Out of all the things that I own, why are you asking if I would show you that tonight?
He's jealous.
The answer, though, is yes. So I hope that makes you happy and not tired. That's all I can say, Rick. Yeah. Great interview, lots of fun. Yes, sir. There you go, Jared. Jared, you're throwing me off with the superhero name, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, Jared, how in the world, like how long have you been on YouTube that you were able to snag the name superhero without it having to be like superhero 467-439? You know?
Yep.
Like, how did you get that? That's wild. That's crazy. Wow. Really, really crazy. Wow. What's up, brother? Hart is the co-creator of the show, I believe, right? He almost is.
No. It's all Rubén. It's all Rubén.
It's Hart, Jason Ladwig. You know, we're like all partners in this. You know, more and more.
So where's my cut? Oh wait,
your cut is in the same place my cut is.
Checks in the mail. Yeah.
The ether of like non-existence. Yeah. You know.
Should I go after YouTube to get my money?
I would rather you go after than me for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Appreciate that, Tom. But I guess we'll get to it. Wow, probably too long. I'm old. Look at that. You're not old. Like if you call yourself old, like you're really saying the same thing about a lot of us because we're kind of all in that same age range. You know, a lot of
50
us
plus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of us are in that range right now. So there you go.
Yeah.
Jason says, yeah, he wants stock options. Yeah. They're in the mail. Just keep waiting for them. Keep waiting for them like Jared's waiting for the cash that I sent him for his birthday. It was his birthday a couple days back, everybody. Happy birthday again,
Happy birthday,
Jared. So yes, that's where your stock options are, Jason. Just keep waiting for them. There's no tracking, but I'm sure they'll show up. So don't worry about it. And what's up, Tom? What's up, loser? What?
He must be meaning me. That's right. I'm the loser.
I don't know. He's talking to.
Oh,
Tom? Is this the Tom you're talking to, Ron? That's really wild. Like calling him a loser. That's I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. Some like sort of behind the scenes infighting of some sort. I don't know. Pretty weird. But
we don't talk about Fight Club.
Fight Club, yeah. Pay up with NFT. I got none.
Marcus, send me your crypto purse.
Yeah, that's right. Send in the worthless crypto. Well, you really shouldn't say that because a lot of the crypto is actually worth a lot of money. It's pretty insane. Doesn't mean I want to buy it. Doesn't mean I want to own it. Whatever, you know. But okay. I guess I shouldn't say it's worth a lot of money. It trades for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially worthless, I think. You know, but so Tom, I see Tom is revealing. Okay, so you got to reveal these things, I guess. Mike Berkey nicknamed us losers. Okay, Tom and
like the DC characters, losers, World War II.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what he's talking. Yeah, remember the losers comic? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. Okay, well, everybody, let me quickly, now that I said hello to you all, let me quickly do a couple of shout outs. First of all, on the screen, shout out to my newest subscriber, Cyber. Cyber, I don't know if you're here watching or if you are watching this on Rewind. Thank you so much for subscribing. I don't know who you are or anything about you. Would love to get to know you a little bit. So if you're seeing this, please tune in sometime live if you can. That's where it's a lot more fun because I interact with everybody. We all interact together and have a good time, a few laughs and whatnot.
Come in and chat.
Yeah, that's right. And as long as you're willing to chat from the live chat, you'll be part of the show too, and that's what makes it so much fun. So,
is he named after that Wolverine villain, Cyber?
That's what I was thinking, right? Like I was like, okay, it's that Marvel Comics Presents era Santee villain thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if that's what he's a fan of that or whatever, you know. But welcome either way, Cyber. I appreciate it. The first subscriber the first out of the last, I think now 14 or 15 subscribers whose name I was able to see. Previously, it was all anonymous. It was so many consecutive anonymous that I really began thinking, oh, YouTube must have changed their policy and they've made everybody anonymous, so we're not allowed to see. But then I saw Cyber, so I was like, oh, wow.
They must be just one guy.
Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is. He is who he is, but I appreciate it. So thank you, Cyber. And who else do we got here? So our buddy Lee Parmenter, not here tonight. Well, at least at the moment. I'm going to assume anybody who's usually here but is not here now, I'm going to assume is doing, some kind of Easter-related thingamajig.
Right.
But here's a link. Put a link into Lee's latest video. Don't be afraid to not only check it out, everybody. He's typically just doing unboxings, but as he says at the end of this video, he's asking people to give him feedback on whether you'd like to see. He'd like to do some educational type videos. And people have told me for a long time, oh, you should do more educational stuff so people could, newer collectors could see. It's just I wish I had the time for it, right? But go and check out his video and go in the comment section. And if you think it's a good idea, let him know. Let him know you'd like him to do that. That'd be cool. And give him some feedback. I gave him some honest feedback. As always, I always enjoy people that I know creating content for the hobby, so we have more choice. I told him I enjoyed the video and the artwork, but I also gave him some honest feedback that his lighting is so dark. It's too damn dark. Yeah. So if you have anything else that you guys want to tell him, yeah, man, don't be scared. Otherwise, people can improve their channels and their product unless they know and they get constructive criticism, So check it out and let him know, everybody. Would appreciate that.
I got a question to Ruben. For Lee's channel, is he doing educational content for comic art or for comic books or both?
No. I mean, so far he's only done three videos, and they've been comic art unboxings. That he's purchased. He just gets them in and he opens them on camera.
Oh, okay.
And he just at the end of this one that I just popped the link in for, he asks at the end, like, oh, let me know, guys, if I was thinking I'd like to do some more like educational type videos or whatever. Let me know if you'd like to see that, if I should do that or not or whatever. So yeah. So I kind of gave him my feedback on that as well, So yeah. So that'd be great if you guys can check it out. And give him a little subscribe. He's a really tiny channel. Like Carl started off on a tiny channel and now is past 100 subscribers. He's well on his way to 150. So his channel is starting to move. So I like that. So thank you, everybody, for giving Carl's channel a shot. Crazy. I maybe see 1 or 2 out of every 10 new subscriber names. Yeah, exactly. Well, for me, Carl, it used to be like 1 out of every 4, ish. One out of every 4 or 5. And then, like I said, it just suddenly went like 13, 14 in a row. No, I didn't see anybody's name. So kind of weird. Oh, look at that. Lee is here.
Yep, Lee is here.
I was planning on doing an educational video next. There you go. Well, you know what, Lee? Do what you want to do anyways, regardless of what the feedback on that is. So even if you don't get feedback, or if you do saying, nah, I don't need to see that, do it anyways. Clearly you feel like doing it. And our hobby does need more. And like I said, I wanted to do some. It's a matter of time. It's just hard. With me doing a weekly show, that's taking up enough of my time. I don't have time to do extra, things that I have to plan out and pre-record and whatever. An educational series, you kind of want to plan what you're going to record right ahead of time. So,
right.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why maybe one day I would like to, but for now, nobody's really doing it. I did do a few live episodes where, I had the episode where, me and Jason Ladwig, a couple of the, my 101 Comic Art 101 series, right? That's an educational series, but we have a total of 7 episodes there, but I think, the hobby could always use more, and maybe more focused ones,
Yeah, I agree.
As much as people make fun of it, I do believe that the hobby could use an official video only on explaining the blue line process,
right.
Showing examples, so things like that. It'd be good, So yeah. So you're very welcome, Lee. There you look at that. And Lee says,
blue line.
Yeah, exactly. So I say do it, Lee. I say do it. Why not? And sorry, guys, but I know that I skipped ahead a little bit. Thank you for your birthday wishes. You're welcome. I don't think just my face and gray hair say something different. Yeah, I know. But we're all getting there. Ruben and Tom. How about Ruben and Hart? I mean, Ruben and Tom was a last week, or was it that the week before? Either way, that was recently. But
maybe I look like Tom.
What's up, Mark? And sorry. Have you heard about the lonesome losers? That must be you guys. Even the losers keep a little bit of pride. They get lucky sometimes. And that's Tom Petty. Is that what you're doing there? Tom Petty. That's what I'm going with. Putting them, Lee and Karl, putting them out. Okay, it's crazy. I see maybe. Oh, that's sorry, everybody. Sorry. You see, that's what happens when I go backwards, jump ahead, and then go backwards, and I'm showing the same comments over again. Yes, bring it on, Lee. Go ahead and do it. Just put it out there. Whatever you think on a subject, I say go for it. Yeah, good advice. Same thing that I was saying. Tom says, anyone who wants to do a show on stupid things a new comic art collector should not do. I have a long list.
I could tell you a few.
Yeah, a lot of people, I'm sure, And yeah, there you go. Do it, Lee. Why not? Marcus, what's a blue line? See, Marcus needs that more than anybody.
Yeah, Marcus keeps buying blue lines for some weird reason. I don't know why.
Exactly. What's up? What's up, Scotty? Good to see you, man. DJ, what's your opinion on colored mats, Lee? Nice. Oh my God. Bad. A show on steel and colored mats. Okay, you guys. All right. I guess I deserve it. Well, I don't think I deserve it, but whatever. I allow it. Blue lines are varicose veins.
Varicose veins.
Spider veins. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you know it. Beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time. Juice Newton, baby. That'd be sick. Man, I saw a video of his the other day. Again, Marcus. Like, he did this long, whoa, sick. Oh, that's awesome. It was like this crazy long one. I was like, oh my God. Wild, man. That dude's like out of control. Now I'm starting to wonder, though, if he knows that, we're talking about him and he thinks it's like a catchphrase now. He may be doing it on purpose now and stretching it out. And, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder about that. Mine was the Little River Band. Yeah, I was never Little River Band. Well, I was never into them. Never really listened to them is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I can't say. So sang Lonesome Loser. Okay. Thank you. Good job, Scott. And I don't think so. I don't think what? Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you. Oh, let me just, sorry, because I jumped back into you to see you guys here in the chat. I don't want to forget. Sorry. Karl, let me know, Karl. Did your last video come out since my last week's show? I'm forgetting. But you know what? Just in case, everyone, he's going to let me know now, but go check this out. Just in case, that's Karl's video. And that might be the one I showed you guys already last week. But if it's not, then it'll be a newer one. There you go. While you're there, go see if there's something else. Oh, there you go. I think it went live on Tuesday. Okay. That might, Karl, let me know if that's the right one. I felt pretty sure that I did it. The reason I'm probably forgetting is because I think I did it earlier, much earlier, probably right after you posted it, actually, right after I watched it. So, yeah, I believe that's the link to the new one from Tuesday. So, yeah, please let me know. Splashy Blue Soups. Well, I don't know. Are you talking about my shirt? Pretty splashy.
Must be.
Pretty splashy blue.
Hey, Dewey.
What's up? Oh, and Dewey. What's up? A Superman fan. Hey, Dewey. For you, baby. For you. Look at that. Yeah. That's what I said to a few other guys, too. But, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's for all of you.
You made it special.
Yeah. That's it. If you're a Superman fan or Superman family fan, then this is for you, for sure. And thank you for confirming, Karl. There you go. That's why I'm forgetting, because I did it already like five days ago. So it's like, oh, man, I can't keep up with how many videos you put up, right? So I appreciate it. Thank you. So go check that out, everybody. That's Karl's new video, the latest one for this week. So lots of fun as always. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. Do. Yeah. Okay. And lastly, sorry, everyone. Let me check. Okay. So, sorry. I did well 2 weeks in a row. I did well for Nikki B. I couldn't find the link for him this week. So Nikki B, I'm sorry, but no direct link. But of course, everybody go check out Nick's show every Friday, this coming Friday, and every Friday on youtube.com/theexp, as you see right there on the screen. And that is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. There he is, the handsome gentleman, along with Amy behind the graphic, hiding herself. A lot of nice, affordable art to be claimed every week. Well, not always affordable, sometimes higher end, but usually affordable. So yeah, go please check that out if you can. And Nikki B, you need to do a better job of getting somebody to email me the link to the show. But there you go. Go check that out, everybody. Sorry, I don't have a direct link. I just couldn't find it, even though I tried. Okay, so I believe that that's the end of the promos for tonight. Karen has not put out a video yet, though I do know she's in the editing process. She has recorded one and is or having to start the editing process. So still not sure when that one will come out for her. But not likely this week, unless it's later in the week, I'm assuming. And yeah, I believe that's it, everyone. So let me just check. Wanted to say, for those of you who may want to have some interest in buying some of the Mike Perkins art to the Batman First Night issue number 2, I can only tell you that there. So Mike is holding back some pages from every issue, all 3 issues, but he's going to be holding back less from the second issue than he did in the first. So that alone should provide more available art this time around. And although I can't tell you right now when it's going to go on sale, I will be doing it at a different time than I did for the first issue. And I'm going to do it at a time which probably is most beneficial for the entire west to east coast of North America, and good for Europeans, and still viable for Asia. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say. The issue comes out this coming Wednesday. All right, so that's the second issue. And I don't know when it's going to come out, but it could be at any time from any day and time from this Tuesday to the following week. So 7 days at any given time or day and time. Okay, so just FYI, just so you guys know that. And I believe, and for those of you who don't know maybe what I'm talking about, this is the link to the website. And I guess rather than just pop it on the screen, since most people are kind of too lazy to type it out themselves, if you don't know my website already, here, let me put it in the chat for you. That is comicbookartgallery.com. And there you go. There's the link. Just at the top menu, you look under Mike Perkins, and you'll see all the list of his titles that we have for him. And you'll see Batman First Night. You'll be able to see what we have left of the first issue. And in there, at some point this coming week, you will find the pages for issue number 2. And if you're on my mailing list on my website, you will be notified. As soon as I make the art go live, I will then, within hopefully no more than a couple of minutes after, send out an email to my mailing list. If you want to be on it, you just have to scroll to the bottom of my website and add yourself to the list right at the bottom of the front page. Okay? And that should be about it. Make it 3 a.m. for everybody. Yeah. Canadian time. Yeah, nice. Let's see. I missed a bunch of them. Okay. Whoa. Holy crap, I missed a bunch. Holy smokes. Okay.
Well, you keep talking so much. You know.
I know. That's the thing.
Shut up once in a while.
Okay, we did the do, and we did the thank you. If you're a Superman fan, you're special like everyone else. Superman fan, you're special like everyone else. There you go. Exactly. Thank you, Mike. The non-sales show. Which one was the non-sales show? Because now I'm coming 5 minutes late. Oh, well. Sorry, Marcus. The Talk Show only. What are they talking about? Damn it. Sorry, guys. Nice purchase, Carl, on the Blue Electric Superman. Yes, exactly. That was a very cool page by Ron Friends and Joe Rubenstein. Kyle had a barbecue cook-off this. Oh, Kyle had a barbecue cook-off this weekend. Okay, I don't know what that means. Excuse me. Any trailer? Trailer for what? The answer is no. I don't have a trailer. Thanks, Dewey. Last minute discovery. I'm very happy. There we go. Karen, thoughtful and lots of editing. Yes, sir. Me, not so much. You're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. There you go. CJ says the same thing. Exactly. And okay, that's how I do it too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything up. Exactly. Covey posted a Sweet Perkins Swampy page today. He certainly did. Check that out on Covey's cat gallery. And if you don't know me by now, is that Simple Minds? Who's that again?
Don't you forget about
I'm confusing those two. Yeah.
I
can sing it, but it's not coming. Who was that again? Shit. Straight recorded videos are fine and get out much faster. That's right. Nick's show. Nick's show. No sales. Right. This past week. Yeah. That was a disappointment to all the people who go there expecting to claim stuff every week, you know. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, it was all right anyways. And hey, it finished closer to the old finishing time of an hour and 10 minutes, which no longer seems to happen anymore. I used to love it for that reason because it was nice and brief, you know, 60, 70 minutes. And now it's always 1 and 45, 2 hours. Come on, man. And it's tough. That's why I can't really show up because I'm either going out with the girls for dinner or working out or whatever. So anyways, Simply Red. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Lee. There you go. Thank you. Simply Red. Yeah, I always loved that guy's voice, his lead singer's voice. Very unique. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Why does that sound familiar? What is that?
don't know.
Is that a joke or a movie thing? Something about the I don't know. Harold Melvin doesn't sound familiar, but the Blue Notes sounds familiar. What is that?
I thought for a second it says Blue Nuts, but that's something else.
And even Hoarder's Hide is coming in with the same comment. Melvin and the Blue Notes. I don't know what you mean by that because I don't think that's real. Is it? I don't know. Is it really the original? Oh, so that was a cover song. Thank you. Interesting. Did not know that. It's always fun to learn stuff like that. Wow. Funny how that song was really popular when it came out, and I have no memory of hearing that it was a cover or whatever. So they did it in the 70s. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. I'm so curious now. After the show, I'm gonna have to go remember and stay here on YouTube and go check it out. Yeah, I just want to see how the original is. That's interesting. That's the original, apparently, Marcus. Okay, so that is it, everybody. With that, for those of you who are confused as to why Hart is here and saw the graphic and thought, oh, didn't he just do a show and tell with Hart recently? Yes, I did. The show and tell tonight is it's with Hart, but it's not Hart's collection because we did just do that recently, not that long ago. So tonight, and I admit it was a last minute thing. I admit it's because I've been having trouble. I've been really behind on trying to schedule shows. And it's getting harder and harder to get new collectors that haven't been on before to come on. So I'm falling behind. I'm always basically doing things with less than a week to go to, coming up with an idea. So that's it. So admittedly, I would not have done this for me tonight. So yes, so the show and tell is of my art. In case you were wondering, it's not about Hart's art. Nope. He's here because, as I always tell you guys, I just like to have somebody with me in the studio for companionship. Because the delay with only being able to be, me speaking with you guys from the chat, the broadcast delay, the 10 seconds or whatever, it just makes it harder. And so at least this way I got somebody to riff with, right? And Hart's awesome.
And I'm your show wife.
You're my show wife. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there you go. He's already used to it. He's wearing a dress. You don't see it, but he's wearing a little skirt,
It's red with polka dots.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to do a little dusting later,
Right. Feather dusting.
They have meds for that. Too much stress. I don't know what you're talking about, but maybe doing the show. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
It's kind of stressful, I'm telling you, to keep coming up with finding guests every week. I'll tell you that.
Come on, guys. Get on the show. It's easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, thank you for the plug. I appreciate that. And for those of you who may be listening, whether right now or are watching this on Rewind, and you kind of think it's fun, it might be fun, but you're shy or whatever, or you find yourself being an introvert, I just want to make it clear, so you know, and I'm not just saying this to convince you, quite a lot of the collectors who have done show and tells with me or hangout episodes or comic art one-on-one episodes or roundtable episodes, quite a few of them are self-professed introverted personality types. But they decided to do it on my recommendation and reassurance that it's a very relaxing thing. And the way we go about, the whole process, the whole thing about all of us kind of just shooting the shit here and having a few laughs throughout the entire evening, it's that process which makes people unwind. So even if you are finding yourself to be more of an introverted type and shy, the fact that we're all friendly with each other, nobody's an asshole, except for Scott, Hoarder's High.
And me.
And you, of course.
Yeah.
You were here, so I thought that was, it didn't need mentioning.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, no, in all honesty, in all sincerity, I can tell you guys, those of you especially who think consider yourself introverts, all the people, introvert or extrovert, who have done shows with me, they have all told me in private afterwards that was a lot of fun. They said it was a lot more relaxing than I expected it to be. And I really enjoyed myself. I mean, that's, a combination of those things is what they've all said. So, yeah, I want Gabe. He's not here tonight from what I can tell. Gabe Carino, I've been trying to get him for quite a long time. He has said no respectfully. I asked him again, and he still said no, but he's thinking about it. He seems to be coming to the idea. So you never know. I just don't want to push people, right? I don't want to feel like you got to do it. I want you to do it because you believe that it's going to be okay, and you're not going to feel whatever, wackadoodle or too, shy and scared or nervous or whatever, So there you go. And pick the page. You'll do another one and pick the pages. I'm good with that, Lee, except for the people that I've already been on to do another episode with the same person of the same show. So if it's like show and tell, you've already done, and if you want to do another show and tell, I'd rather wait for more time to pass in between, just so it doesn't look like, oh, wow, like, people are going to be like, didn't we just see him? That whole thing. But eventually, if we run out of people, I will start doing that, as long as we can get different pieces. And yeah, that'd be awesome. So eventually, Lee, I'd be happy to do it for sure. Missed next show. I thought it went normally longer, but it apparently went so fast. Yes, they didn't have art to sell. That's why he wasn't selling this week, Maki Pupu. That's why. So they closed it out earlier than usual. No fair Ruben is going to know what art was picked before it is shown. I wish I didn't, to be honest. I'm telling you, Mike, it felt so weird this week for me to put tonight's show together, knowing that I'm the subject of my own show. Like, it was like, what? Like, I was like,
you should have had me do it. I would have messed it up.
Yeah, but the thing is it was already, later in the week, right? Later in the week, you got to work. You know me. I don't want to ask people to do anything other than be a guest and show up, right? So that's why I typically do the picking for show and tell, right? Because it takes a long time. It's lengthy, whatever. And I figure I want my guests, since they can't be paid monetarily, I just want them to have as little to do as possible other than, just show up on time and that's it, So that's the thing. So I don't want to ask anybody like, hey, listen, I'm going to do a show and tell on my own collection. Can you be the host this time? Whatever. So I figured I'll just ask you if you can just hang out with me, at least have some company. That's fine. And I appreciate it. So thank you, Hart. Yeah. I do appreciate it.
Next time we'll get Marcus in on it. He'll do the mix-up for your show of picking your pages.
But I would love it. But then
Marcus?
But then he doesn't want to be a part of it on screen. So
well, we can put him in a black screen, so it's like just a shadow of Marcus.
Oh, true. Just audio only. But
audio only, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we could, but I don't like that. I think the whole point for my channel, other than of course, it's about getting along and having people meet each other, right, and hanging out together so we get to know each other and just have a good time. But also, part of that falls under the guise of, if you want to get to know each other, you get to know other collectors. You gotta. How do you do that if you're just like, it kind of defeats the purpose if you're just a black screen. Right. You don't want to be seeing you don't want to show yourself. I don't like that,
Well, Marcus says he never looks at your gallery anyway, so he doesn't know anything.
I know he doesn't. That's okay. That's okay. You are a huge introvert, and yet you still did my show. Exactly. Or is that pervert? I'm going to go with pervert, right? Yes, Hart. Hart, you agree.
That's true. Me. Yeah.
Hart is a pervert. Yes. You do that. You get them confused sometimes. There you go. Hey, what's up? Mahalo for being here, Carl. What's up?
Hey, Carl.
Good to see you. An intro pervert.
Or a pervert intro.
Hey, what's up, Ian? Happy Easter to you and the whole family. Hey, yeah. What are you doing here? I figured you'd be Easter egg hunting with all the kids. Even if introverted, you'll be surprised how easy to talk about why you love your art. It's a natural and easy conversation. It is. Thank you. Yeah. Carl's done it. Mind you,
we love the art, right?
Introvert. So say again?
We love the art, so we're going to talk about art no matter what your personality is like. I mean, introvert or not.
Oh, sure. But, introverts that are scared or, whatever. It's weird, the idea of being on camera and stuff, whatever. I get it. I get it. But I just want all of those guys to know that it's again, I've had a lot of guests who are introverts, self-proclaimed introverts, decided to do it, were nervous to start, and then at the end told me, no, that was fun, and I'd do it again if I had a chance. So just want those of you out there who are looking and maybe you would consider it to please take that into consideration. I would love to have more of us do this together because it's just fun, man. I like to talk to as many new people as possible, or not. I don't mean new in the hobby, but people we've never spoken with, right. Other than maybe
new faces.
Yeah, new faces, exactly. Putting faces to names and such, Alex Garcia, what's up, brother? I would do it, but I don't have enough pages. I'll have to check back in a year or two. No worries, man. But you let me know anytime, whenever you feel ready. I typically do 20 pieces for a show and tell, although we could do 15, whatever. I've done. In fact, Karen, when I did it with Karen, I believe we only did 14 for Karen's episode. So there is precedent for having done shorter ones. But yeah, man, anytime you want to, you let me know, man. All right, you just reach out. No worries. I'll be super happy to. Sonny, what's up? Good evening to you, my friend. CJ, the intro pervert is an interesting. Okay, you guys are still pervert thing. She'll do anything to make you feel like an asshole. Who are you talking about? Are you just singing now? We've covered that. I know you don't. Tom Grummett is coming to Oklahoma City. Wow, for Kon in May, hoping to pick something up. Awesome. And let me know if you do. That'd be cool. And excited to see Ruben's collection. Shaggy. What's up, Shaggy? Do we have Larry? Is Larry Wong in the house for the double dose of Wong tonight?
What's up, Wongs?
What is this time? Only one Wong is making a white, I guess.
Yeah.
What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Being on the show is actually really fun, and I loved connecting with some other collectors afterward. Great experience. Awesome. Right. Thank you, Jared. That's awesome. Thank you so much,
Jared.
Really appreciate that. Step right up and don't be shy because you will not believe your eyes. What? Evening, Jason. 1 in a million art.
That's the tubes. No, that's Boomtown.
1 in a million. 1 in a million is an awesome Guns N' Roses song. Except
there's also Jake Isles band, right?
I was not a fan of Jake Isles. I didn't really follow them, so that I can't tell you.
I'm doing a bad job today for remembering the band tonight.
Okay.
The Tubes.
The Tubes. It is the Tubes. Okay.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah. Nice,
Maybe
Hart.
Not that bad.
Nice, Hart. Nice. Yeah. Well done, man. What if you secretly hate your own art? Well, that would be an even better reason to come on and do a show. Can you imagine of like what we could talk about when the guy whose art we're showing actually hates his own art? That would be awesome. Then we could blast the art, like freely tell you, right? Freely tell everybody how shit it looks.
It would be great. Marcus, you got to do it. That would be so much fun. I'd come on.
That would be awesome. Carlito, what is up, man? Good to see you. Just in time to start the show and tell. Nice. Great timing. Freeze frame and centerfold. Exactly. Hoarders. Me too. That's the thing. Great songs, but that's all I ever heard. I never bothered to look up catalog after that, you know? Yeah, Cab, what's up? Only have time to check and register. Like, no worries. Thank you very, very much. Please let us know if you're feeling better. Are you feeling better? Cab's been sick, everybody. I hope you're feeling better. So please do take care.
Get well.
No fake praise. Do show Ruben. I was able to trick him into saying good things about my life.
Yeah, Mike's collection sucks. I always wanted to say that out loud. I just did.
Listen, I like your collection. I wouldn't have asked you to do it if it. Well, no, I would have asked you even if I didn't really care for it. I liked it because I wouldn't collect that stuff. I don't collect it. But I liked it because it was so different from what everybody else collects. And that's what's so cool about it. And plus, the stuff that you ultimately showed me was even more sort of out there than what I was used to seeing in your gallery, you know? So I thought, wow, this is really cool and fun. So for me, it was one of my more fun episodes to look at because it was so different, you know? So, but I have a wide variety of tastes, you know? Understandably, a lot of the guys who are only in the mainstream, you know, they're not going to love to watch our episode together, Mike. But we knew that going in. But I don't care. You know, I don't care. So for those of you who are worried that you think that's another thing. For those of you who maybe aren't shy, but you don't want to do a show and tell with me because you think nobody cares about the stuff that I collect, you know. I buy cheap, you know, affordable type art that, you know, they're not big artists names or whatever. Nobody's going to care. Please don't think that.
Yeah.
I've done plenty of episodes of show and tell with collectors who have similar, you know, collections that you can describe that way that are, you know, whatever, like no big names, just, you know, cheaper stuff. Who cares? That's not the point. What I tell everybody always is you guys may see this as show and tell, like the show and tell series. You may see this on the surface. It appears to be, oh, well, of course, that show is about showing and talking about art. But in my head, I don't look at it that way. Yes, it's about that. But for me, the favorite part is still the fact that we still shoot the shit and have some laughs. And furthermore, more importantly to me personally, is we still get to talk together and we get to learn about the collector who's doing the show and tell. I like that more than showing the art and talking about the art. So yeah, so don't ever be shy about what you collect. Everybody's nice here anyways. And listen, if less people show up because they don't want to look at your kind of art, whatever, who gives a shit? The point is being here live and doing this live is a lot of fun. That's where it's most fun, when you're here live shooting the shit with all of us.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you collect, you know, it's the camaraderie that makes it fun more than the type of art we're showing, you know? So that's it. So that's my call out to those of you who are thinking you would like to do it, but are shy that your art isn't good enough. Please don't think that. I'll show whatever I have to show. I don't care. If you love the art, that's all that matters to me. All right. So there you go. Okay. So today's topic, Carlos, is it's a show and tell of part of my collection. So that's today's topic, which we'll get to in a second, as soon as I catch up with the last few comments. And so let me see. So what if what if your collection is all steel? You're welcome to do it, except I would expect I would more likely be doing a second show and tell episode with Carl for that to happen. But if your collection is all steel, I'll still do it. But you have to understand, you know my personality. You know that I speak from the heart. I speak the truth. And if I think something, like if I hate something about whether it's the art or the story or whatever, I'm going to say it. It's just as a point of conversation. It doesn't mean I hate your artwork per se or whatever, that I'm saying your art is crap, but if you were here for the time that we, me and Carl did it, and he showed his steel art, and I explained why I don't like steel, then you understand, so as long as you can take it, it's okay. Steel is Ruben's kryptonite. You are not nice, Scott. That's one beauty of the show, hearing someone praise art that was never on your own radar. Yeah, for sure. It opens your mind to other things, even if you don't really care about it, right? And you find yourself living in a shotgun shack. Oh my God. Okay. You guys, and the music's never ending. Hoarder's Hide. I'm not so nice. Exactly. That's what NSN stands for. I am coming on next with my collection of spires. Oh my God. Not Guardians of the Galaxy, but specifically just collection of spires. That's awesome.
Right.
Ian.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, that I don't know that I'd want to do that. No offense.
It would be a short show.
Yes, I would do a Guardians of the Galaxy, but then again, you and I have done a show, so that'll have to wait a little longer. I still want to keep trying my best to find new people who haven't done it yet. I absolutely loved having a conversation about Steel and Ruben. Exactly. There you go. It was fun. Nothing mean was meant by anything I said. As much as some of these guys would like to always make me sound like I'm saying bad things. No, it's not. Ian Spires are spindles to behold. Magnet and Steel equals Walter Egan. Okay, now you're really losing me. Although the name is familiar, but okay. All right, everybody.
Let's get started.
Thank you so much. We got just over 36 people on Easter. So again, like I said, Hart, right? Early on, like, let's go. Oh, maybe it's going to be kind of like Christmas, but then like Christmas always surprises me. So I'm surprised once again, over 36 people. So awesome.
Let's do it.
I can't ask for better than that. So thank you, everybody. All of you watching live who are here right now. Thank you. And for those of you watching on Rewind, thank you. I appreciate you all as well. Thank you. Okay, everybody, let us get into this. And again, this is very weird for me because I'm presenting and talking about my own art that I, of course, picked. So weird. But yeah, whatever. I guess that's just how it's going to have to be. Yeah, please hit the like right over here, the thumbs up button, please, everybody. 38 people right now. It keeps fluctuating, 38, 39, 40.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many likes we have. It's I can't see on my
I'm stuck at 12, so I don't know. I have to refresh,
I know, unless you refresh or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't go, so I don't know, whatever. But please, we'd like. I always try to get at least 100% ratio. If I could get as many thumbs up as I do, at the peak of my viewership, that would be awesome. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. I appreciate it. And Larry Wong, we do have 2 Wongs in that.
There you go.
Tonight. Awesome. You're shy. Okay, a lot of people are shy, but I said what I said. A lot of people were shy. They still did the show, and they were happy, and they were happy that they did it when it was all said and done. So, Larry, reach out to me and let me know. I'd love to do it with you. At least give me an opportunity to convince you that it's gonna be okay. There you go, Wongs. All right. The Grummett Hour. There's a few.
Yeah, I believe it. And if anybody hates Ruben's stuff, please chime in and say you hate it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
If you
more
hate
talk.
Me of all people, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You tell me whatever you want. Be honest. I don't care. As long as it's honest. Kajagugu, too shy. Oh, awesome, man. I've sang that on this show before. I've literally sang a little bit of it. So, yeah, that's awesome. Limal, I believe, is the lead singer's name. Limal.
Yeah, something French, wasn't it?
Nah, it's like
no?
It's European, but I believe it's Limal. Limal, he goes by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Ladouche.
Huh?
Not Ladouche?
Not Ladouche, although he back then kind of looked kind of like Ladouche, but
he probably did.
Yeah. I do not take Zelle, actually. And in fact, Canada, it's not available, I believe. You can't do it through Canada, United States, can't do it. Yeah, hate is a strong word. Detest much better. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I appreciate that. Hey, girl. Move a little closer. Okay, now these guys are going to start doing the two shots.
Let's just start.
All right. Okay, you guys sing while I start the show with Hart, and let's get on into my images here. Let's go. Let me see. All right. So, here we go. Where we start? Okay, so for tonight's show and tell, we're going to begin with somebody I spoke about earlier tonight regarding some art for sale. Mr. Mike Perkins. I'm starting with this one because I figured I had to talk about the art for sale coming up. So, here we go. Let's check this one out. So this is from Batman First Night, his most recent project. It's from the first issue that came out last month. It is page 40. This is the one page that I'm getting from this first issue. And for those of you wondering, wow, you probably get first dibs. How come you don't have like the best page with all the Batman all over it? To be honest, I don't necessarily care about having a ton of Batman all over it. For me, the plan initially was that I was hoping to get 3 pages from the whole series. One that featured Mike's technique in doing backgrounds, buildings in particular. And so this was going to be my example of that. And then I wanted to get a page that focused on a nice flapper type girl from the 1930s. And then my third page would have been an example that had Batman, So those are the 3 elements I wanted. Ultimately, that has been blown out of the water and the plans have changed. So I got this as my example of buildings and technique and how Mike creates the texture with the techniques he uses to create the texture of the stone walls of this old weathered rock. And that's an actual building you see there. For those of you who haven't read this, that is an actual old shut down prison, an old prison in the city in the UK that Mike lives in right now.
Can you tell me how he did some of that brick or stonework?
Well, actually, I haven't even asked him on this particular, in this particular page. So I don't know for sure, but I know that oftentimes, like if you look at the second panel, right? So the one on the left,
right?
That appears, based on what I've seen him do in the past, that appears to be where he'll take an object. It could be practically any type of object. He'll experiment and he'll dip that into like some sort of semi-absorbent object, dip that into the ink bottle, and then blotch the paper with it.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, not having asked him in particular for this, I can't say for sure what he used, it could still be one of his brushes, Yeah.
That's a lot of work for just a side of a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. But that's why I love it. Like I look at the first panel and I just feel like, oh my God, I can feel the weathered stone, the rock, the stone that they used to build, to build that building. It really draws me in. It pulls me in. I feel like I'm there,
I especially like the halo effect around all the buildings.
Yes.
That's actually very nice.
I love that too. Yeah. It kind of makes it pop out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool. And and ultimately, I love the fact that again, I bought this mainly for his backgrounds. But it kind of does still double as my Batman page in the sense that you get this at the bottom panel. What to me, when I looked at it, I thought, oh, it reminded me of David Mazzucchelli's sort of year one type Batman.
Right. Plus you got the Batman shadow on the building itself. That's really nice.
Right. And exactly. The way he casts the shadow with the spotlight, right?
Right.
Or the searchlights, I guess you call them, whatever, the prison searchlights. Yeah. So, I thought this was great, and I was like, okay. This was actually one of the pages that Mike intended to keep, but when I told him I only want to get one example, and I want it to be of backgrounds, his buildings in particular, he understood, and that's why he let me have it.
Is he a fan of Mazzucchelli's work?
Oh yeah,
because I see a lot.
Really?
That kind of
Okay.
stuff. I mean, I like the way that Batman's shaped in the bottom. It's very much reminiscent of Year One.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, right? That's that bottom.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. So I didn't ask him, so I don't know whether he was thinking about it, if he was thinking about it when he did it or not, whatever. But yeah, to me, that's what kind of it evoked that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was evocative of that. And so that's why I thought, oh, that's kind of a neat little thing. Even though it's tiny, I was like, I don't care, And I looked, I don't have this yet because Mike still has all the art. And so, yeah, let me tell you, all those of you who bought pages from this issue, apologies. He's been really busy drawing, so he has not been able to send me the art yet. But what we're probably going to wait to do is, since the art will be coming for number 2 will be coming very, very soon, we're going to wait to see what we sell of issue 2. Then he's going to send me all the art from the sales that I make. So he's going to try to keep everything that I don't sell, and then just send me what I need, what I've already pre-sold, basically, or not pre-sold, but just sold when I drop the art on the website.
Right.
So for those of you who bought pages from number 1, that's kind of the update I can give you as to when your page will be shipped. We'll see what we sell of number 2. And then when he has to ship me the pages from number 2, he will ship me the pages from number 1 and 2 together. And then when I get them, and then I will start shipping out to you guys. So I apologize, and thank you so much for the delay, by the way. Whoa. Yeah, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Castle Grayskull vibes. Claim.
Yeah, it does.
Castle Grayskull. Architecture. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice. Thank you. Ruben, only on Little Batman. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're going to have a great Wolverine What If page. Yes. I do. I think so. Don't sweat the technique. It's laid out very nice. I do. Thank you. Number 1 Marvel fan. That compliment goes to Mike. Beauty bricks. Yes, sir. Large shadow and smaller Batman makes this a great page. See, that's the thing. See, that's what I mean, right? Everybody always expects that. But like I said, for me, my favorite part, the ultimate reason I wanted this was for the first page, the first panel, the second panel, and the building in the last panel. And it's the Batman. The Batman is it's like just the extra bonus, So, but yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to get this one. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak, crumpled paper sponges, roast beef sandwich, whatever gets the right texture. Exactly.
Lots of roast beef.
It could literally be anything. It's almost photorealistic. I like the black and white page better than the color. Yeah, most people do. He made it out with a bullet in his back. There you go. And what price points will these be? So Carlos, go to the website, man. Go to the website, comicbookartgallery.com. Check them out there, and the sold pages are still on the website, so you can still see all the prices. It's much higher end stuff than Mike's all of Mike's previous work, of course, due to the much higher step up in quality and effort for this project, and plus the pages happen to also be slightly larger than twice up size. Yeah, so there you go. Every time I see Perkins art, I get hungry. What? I want to buy a page next year? I don't know what you mean by that. This is gorgeous. Geeks and Drinks. What's up, geeks? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Glad to see you here. Thanks for dropping in again. So there we go. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. See, it's hard to be the host of my own show because I'm doing all the talking. And usually when my guest, when we're looking at their art and they're the ones doing all the talking, that's when I get to go through the comments and post your comments. But now it's tough for me to be talking because then I got to do my talking and then finish and go through the comments, right? So anyway, all right. So let's move on. Thank you so much. It's going to take some getting used to for me to be able to handle comments and talking at the same time. So
well, talk less.
I know.
Oh wait, that's hard for you to do. It's
hard for me to do.
I didn't know who I was talking to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should know better, Hart. You should know better.
So do you talk this much when you talk to Viv?
No, because when I talk to her, I don't typically talk about stuff that like I'm super passionate about. Like, I don't talk about artwork, right? Like, yeah, she likes to look at my art when I get it in, but
it's gone after that.
Yeah, she's not into it. So yeah, whatever. Let me look quickly. She's like, oh, let me look at the covers, splash images, whatever. Yeah. That, and that's about it. So,
my wife doesn't even look at the art. She goes, "What did you do? What did you do?
What did you do now? This time, yeah,
yeah, this time."
That's it. That's so funny. Yeah, wives will be wives, I guess.
Yep.
Have
and
Matt
we're the suckers that married them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, have Matt. We can't have Matt every time. But I can get Nikki B. I could have had Nikki B. Exactly. Then I would have been able to. Do it for sure. We need some curds with that wine. Oh, shut up. Ruben, the multitasker. Yeah, but it's going to be tough tonight. But okay, everybody, thank you. So let us get back into this, jump into the next piece here. So the second piece is the piece that you saw on the graphic, the thumbnail graphic. Here we go. It's from Convergence number 0. It's the double page flash, page 6 and 7 by Ethan Van Sciver from 2015, so almost a decade ago. And so yes, even though I'm a Tom Grummett collector and I'm a Superman fan, as far as Tom Grummett goes, I was so focused on for years. I was focused on his New Titans work. Okay, that's what I wanted. I told the story on my channel before. I actually stopped collecting the Superman titles when I heard that they were going to kill Superman. Okay, so unlike many other people who were like excited about it, I was pissed off because by that point I was already like 22, so I was already a young adult and very wise to the whole idea of killing characters because they never stay dead, and the whole idea is I just found silly, so I avoided it. And so when I began to focus my collection on Tom's art, I focused on everything other than his Superman stuff. So because of that, I never got my hands on any of the Death of Superman artwork, except for one piece. And that's it. And so ever since then, when I have the opportunity, I do love to go back and get art that has, art that has been created since then by other artists. Where they're doing stuff like this, where it's like a flashback to the famous scenes, famous flashbacks to famous stories,
So, Ruben, did you ever read the Death of Superman, the first issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I read the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's just that I didn't do it back then. I quit collecting Superman, and I only finally got around to trying the entire Death of Superman. And the 3 follow-up miniseries, right? The Funeral for a Man, right? And the Reign of the Superman, and then the Return of Superman. I only got around to buying them in trade and reading them, several years ago.
Yeah.
So
you were really late to the party as far as trying to find pages. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very late. They were all long since gone by that
point.
So
what was the reason why you hated the idea of killing off Superman? I mean, to you, was it something stupid that they were doing?
Yeah, exactly. To me, it was just like, oh yeah, right. Just like Phoenix died, right? Oh, right. just like Elektra died, right? It was just like that whole idea of killing for the sake of getting a few extra sales, right? And then
more than a few sales.
Well, no, obviously for Superman, there was a hell of a lot more sales. I get it, but that's just the principle of it all, It's just kind of like, I don't know. It wasn't for me, whatever. And I'm glad with the hype. The hype already dead for 30 years or whatever, 25 years by the time I read it. I got to read it without all the hype in my head, and I, for the most part, enjoyed it. But yeah, I let me come back to you guys. I enjoyed it, but funny enough, it's the actual depth of story, right? So this first story arc, that's the one I like the least.
Okay.
Because did you read it?
Yeah, but I usually just had an issue that I read, and I had a few that I kept bagged and boarded. So yeah.
Okay. So the reason I didn't really like it, it was just I felt like it was just one long battle scene. The whole thing was just kind of one big battle scene stretched out over several issues. So to me, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I just want story more than fighting. I don't really care so much about the fighting, you know?
I think the story came out afterwards with the funeral and all that stuff.
Yeah. So for me, when I moved on to Funeral for a Friend, I thought, okay, I hope I like this one much more. I think I will. And I did, because that's what I love. I love the realism of, you know, when people pass away, it's the after effect. Like,
what happens next?
What happens next? Exactly. Right. And if you've had people close to you who have passed away, so you've been through it,
right,
you can relate to it more, you know? And so I really enjoyed that one a lot more. And then they come out with The Reign of the Superman, where these four characters come out, right? Like claiming to be Superman. And you know, and I already knew about Cyborg Superman, because even though I hadn't read them, I saw him when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, that guy looks cool, man. He looks that guy looks badass," you know.
Yeah.
So finally getting to read that story, like that was awesome. And then I would say Return of Superman, probably my third favorite. Yeah, after So I would say in order. I would say Reign of the Superman first. Then I liked The Funeral for a Friend second. Then Return third. Yeah, and then the actual battle, the death of, was, you know, my least favorite of them all.
Yeah. I did like the Reign of Superman, because you knew that somebody was a bad guy, somebody was a good guy, so you're kind of figuring it out as you go along in the storyline.
Yes, and thank you. Yes, it would have been too emotional for me. Nah, back then, no, it would have just pissed me off.
No crying for Superman?
What's that?
No crying for Superman?
No crying for Superman. I like Superman since I was a kid, so it's like, why are you killing another one of my characters that I really love? Like, you know, because again, why are you killing him? You know, whatever. But in the end, overall, if I take it as a whole, you know, the 4 story arcs. As a whole, I really enjoy it. I consider it really a lot of fun, you know. So I'm happy now in retrospect, right? In hindsight, I'm happy that it exists or whatever. And yeah, it's kind of a fun part of Superman's history, I think, you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like that one. Killing in the Name of. Yes. I do feel like it served a purpose, though. Superman was being forgotten in the gritty 90s, but not really. Can you really?
It was a little bit. I mean, it kind of lost its focus, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
I feel like ever since Byrne took over, right? Byrne took over, and then he left, and I kept buying it after he left, and it was still like Jerry Ordway doing art, and whoever the other guys were, like McLeod and Gamble. I was still enjoying the Superman titles. I don't know. I thought they were fun to read before the death. So whatever, I guess to each their own, right? But
did you read the one with Gamble where Superman had no powers and he had a rope that he was swinging with, like Batman? It was an issue that
I must have read it, but I don't remember any details of shit that I read.
I mean, shades of Batman, right? He's just swinging from with a rope.
Swinging Superman?
Yes, yeah. Superman, just go find it. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I don't want to know that. I agree.
Yeah.
Death is just a fight, okay, and is essentially a prologue. Right. The meat of the story is after. Yeah, thank you, Carl. See, I think you can admit that. Because Carl, I've had people be like, ugh, when I say what I just told you guys, you know, I've had people be like, oh, what do you mean? Death of Superman's awesome. I'm like, what? Okay, if you read when you were a 10-year-old, I would understand. 10, 12, 13 years old, whatever. I can understand. At that age, everything we're reading seems to be awesome, you know? But if you really look at it through the lens of an adult and reread all 4, Death is kind of, it's just a fight scene, like Carl says, like a prologue, you know? An interview I read about the storyline was that the push that once Superman is gone, now we can talk about what he meant. Right. I remember that. I remember that as well. Thank you, Lee. Great piece of knowledge to drop on us there. I remember that. That's pretty well put. It's like the Clone Saga that went on forever. Thank God I avoided all of that.
We won't talk about that one.
Oh, God. The sales were down is what you mean, and the stories were great. Oh, okay. But were the sales down? I mean, sure, they were going to drop after Byrne left, because Byrne brought a lot of readers at the time. But were they so bad that like they would consider like, oh, the Superman's not selling anymore? I don't know if they were that bad.
It could be DC was sick and tired of being second to Marvel, because Marvel was high on their run of X-Men or whoever it was that they had as their main line compared to Superman, right?
Oh, hey, what's up, Derek? Derek says he's talking about when Crimson Kryptonite made Superman powerless.
Oh, yeah.
Right around the time that he proposed. Is that what you're
Yep, that's the one. And the cover shows him falling down from a bird's eye view with a rope.
Okay.
Tied around him, and if I think correctly, he's falling, or is he fallen on the ground? I forget which one it is. But,
okay, so he's telling me, hey, Hydra, you liked it? Wow, really? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, he wants me to look at Adventures 472.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, 472. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yep.
I'm not sure it's electric companies. Jennifer. Giving Superman a mullet was worse than dying. Oh, God.
Hey, I had a mullet when I was growing up. Come on now.
Did you?
Could be. Yeah, I did.
Oh, my God.
It was bad.
The superheroes better in DC than Supernatural better, says Hydra. Yeah, I mean, historically, I would say that's probably true, But okay, there we go, everyone. Thank you again. Let us move on to the next piece. I don't know. Did I leave it up long enough, or did I?
No, you did.
Yeah. I mean, one last look.
I just want to say I never thought Superman was a hairy-chested guy, like a otter. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Right? He's a full-grown
I thought he was just shaved like a baby.
Bare like a baby. Bare like a baby's buttocks, Yeah.
I didn't say buttocks. You said it.
The long hair. Look at this guy. Carl's trying to make a case for the long hair making sense, and some drew it great, some made it a full-on mullet. That is very true, I have to say. And what Karl was saying about making sense, it's because of the fact that, well, he died, and so right, who would have been? He wouldn't have been cutting his hair. I believe that's what you're trying to refer to, right, Karl? So he was gone for a while. I think in DC time, I think he was gone for months. I think it was right, several months. So he wouldn't have been cutting his hair, so it would have been long. But yeah, but it's true that some guys, But the thing is that some guys, like some of the artists, some of the creators, like even Tom Grummett, Tom kind of had a mullet at one point in the early 90s. Butch guys had long hair, mulletish long hair. So they're influenced by that, right, as well. So
Stuart Immonen did a really flowy mullet for some of the Stuart Immonen.
Oh, Stuart Immonen, yeah.
Immonen, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a very flowy kind of back.
Smooth, silky, flowy, right?
Yeah, it's like he had Soul Glow hair products or something like that.
Derek, do the other deaths do anything for me? Do you mean other deaths in comics? I mean, like when I was younger, Elektra was awesome. It really hit me. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I loved it.
I thought it was kind of just drab because she wasn't really a character that I was looking at in the storyline because I was like a fan of Bullseye. Yeah, I was a fan of Bullseye. Yeah, so Bullseye was my aim when I was reading. I was like, okay, what is he going to do next? He was the dirty fighter and he was going to kill some people, and you just knew that they were going to fall down because they were all dying around him. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. Yes, these are the details I never remember. I figured it was months, yes, but in the regeneration matrix, I wouldn't remember names like that. Yeah. That terminology is just, it goes in one ear, out the other as soon as I've read the comic, But thank you, Karl. Yes, thank you. So it was for months, so that explains the long hair. It doesn't mean we have to like it, though. That's the problem, Oh, you mean on my page? Oh, do the other deaths. Oh, I see. Sorry.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I didn't think about those.
Yeah, not just the 90s Death of Superman. So yeah, everyone, let me just quickly put it back up. I'll put it in color so you can see it a little bit better. So he's talking about all the other deaths there. Of course, I only bought it for the main death, but yeah, they don't mean anything to me. And I don't know if you were just being facetious or not, Derek, but no, I can't say they mean anything to me, but it is cool to have them. I really thought that kind of made it sort of, it's like an extra bonus is what I looked at it as. And I thought like, wow, like as an extra bonus, that's really, really cool. You got your Kingdom Come Superman, and you got
Magog is in the back.
The who?
Magog is in the background.
Yeah, exactly. You got him. And the Silver Age Superman, and so Golden Age Superman. So I think it's really, really cool that they did that, but yes, I wanted it for, the bottom half of the image, of course,
Yeah.
But did those deaths mean anything to me? Not particularly, but it's kind of cool to have those deaths also included. I found it's really, really, really pretty cool, So Carl said, started just as long hair, then drawn as a mullet, and some even drew as a full-on ponytail. Yes, we sadly remember. Superman, Volume 1, 149. Look at you remembering the exact issue. All-Star. Oh, yes, that's right. One of them is the All-Star Superman. That's right, in Kingdom Come. Yeah. Thanks, Derek. Now, he's awesome. That's why Derek. I love having Derek on the shows too, because he's so good with the details, remembering all the friggin' details of all the stories, the character names, the story plots. Yeah, awesome.
Carl makes a good point.
That Gwen Stacy's death was traumatic.
Yeah, to me that was.
Yes, I read that the back issue, but I still loved it. Yeah, So that was a good one. That was a good one. And the fact that they left her dead forever,
right? Yeah,
made it more meaningful, right? Until they eventually even brought her back.
Yeah.
But at least, for me, I feel like in my head, I don't consider her having come back because she came back after I stopped reading and collecting new comics.
Yeah,
right?
Same here.
Whatever. That's not part of my reality. Right. So to me, I still think of, whatever. She died. Peter's old girlfriend died, and back 121. And then same thing with the Goblin. Green Goblin, 122, whatever. I don't consider Norman Osborn alive, because they brought him back after I quit comics, so I don't care about that, Death of Karen Page, still treated with respect. Until, Mark, we'll see when, Infinite Crisis. Yeah. I fault no one for not likely disliking the decision to give him long hair. You're obsessed with the hair, though. Extra bonus, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Derek. The iconic cover flag is a sweet bonus. Cover flag?
That's from your DPS.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, the flag. Yeah. Well, it's such like you say, it's such an iconic image that represents the death of Superman. Right now, everybody thinks of that flag with the cape blowing in the wind, right? So that's it. The ripped flag. Yeah. Going with such a gut punch as a kid. Yeah, for sure. Ripped flag. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you, everybody. All right. Let us go on to the next piece. And from there, just wanted to say that I really love the expression. Let me just show you quickly again. On Lois, I love Lois. Okay. If you love Superman, you should love Lois. I think, anyways. I do. To me, they're like the ultimate power couple in comics. And I just really love the anguish on her face, and her hands, showing the anguish. And so I love Lois. And as much as I don't want to see Lois hurting, the next piece I have to show is one that a lot of you are familiar with, because a lot of you have left me comments on this one on my gallery. So we won't talk about it too long. But that is from the Lois Lane miniseries from a few years back. Mike Perkins again. Let's check this out. So from issue 6, page 22, for those of you who don't know, this was an issue wherein Lois's father, Sam Lane, General Sam Lane, passed away, and the whole issue delves into the funeral and the I guess the wake, whatever you call the celebration,
the wake,
at the bar,
Yeah, I think this page sucks. You should sell it to me or just gift it to me. It's okay, since it sucks so much.
Since it sucks so much, Yeah, but not much to say because I've said it all in my description in my gallery already. But But just to sum it up, I just wanted to say that what I love about this is, again, I love comic art that shows people showing emotion, which again harkens back to what I was saying about the really loving that they did a follow-up to the death of Superman that focuses on the funeral, and everybody's reactions to it, So I love seeing human emotion in my comic book art, and this is just a beautiful example of it, with one of my favorite characters. So
Mike did a perfect job for this.
Yeah, thank you. I will tell him that. I just thought, really, really nice.
Do you know if he used any kind of reference for Lois? Because that's a really good picture. Or set of pictures, I think.
I don't know. For this, I would say it does. Knowing, I typically can pick out when he's used some reference. I believe here he didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you. It is Lee. Thank you. Wow, says Carl. Oh man, says Maki Poo Poo. A powerful one. It sure is. Yeah, it's just the emotion, right? Great storytelling. It's all about the emotion. Gonna harden my heart. There you go. Rick's on fire tonight with the music. So there you go. Just one of my favorite pieces in my collection. And again, kind of an interesting to say to you guys, because we talk on this show a lot about, like, buy what you like, just buy what you love. That's all that matters, right? But we know that a lot of people get a lot more excited about showing an expensive art, because it's valuable and it makes people get more excited or whatever. And I guess that's
bullshit.
It's always going to be that way or whatever.
I consider that bullshit.
But whatever.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, but it's not to say that it's not cool pieces. It's just that I get as much, if not more, enjoyment out of a lot of my really cheaper pages, like my pages that are less, $200 or whatever. Let's say call them my sub $500 pages, right? I get a lot, as much, if not more, on some of those pages as I have on my pages that are worth thousands and thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Yeah. So to me, it's about value for the money. So we always talk about on the show, like over and over ad nauseum, in a sense, you could say, it's about value for your money. What do you really get a lot of value just because you spend a lot of money? Right. Sometimes, but not always.
You made a point already about we collect the stuff that we like, and people might be not so comfortable showing it because they think it's not as valuable to other people just because it doesn't have the dollar value, right?
Right.
But in its essence, the art is what has to speak, not about the money, because really money is just a tertiary product of this hobby. We're just the love, the art, and then maybe the money. Yeah. But if you love that piece, like you're talking about this page shows you the kind of person that you are as far as a collector. You dismiss the money for the fact that you get a gut-wrenching feeling from that page rather than just, oh, hey, it's worth $10,000 or whatever it is, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's my whole point. And I often think to myself, I've talked a lot about how, maybe when I stop collecting, there's a good chance, given my past history, I may decide to just sell off what I have, right? And if I do that, and in the process of doing that, I'm sure I'll keep a few pages here and there, as I'm going through them, like, oh, you know what? For the little bit of money this one's going to give me, I'll keep it, Yeah. And I really feel like the stuff I end up keeping in the end will probably be those types of pages, the ones that meant something to me, regardless of value,
Would you frame them and put them behind you?
Well, at this point, I've got two walls, one in front of me and one to my left, that don't have any art at all. And they had art for years, and they're the only spaces left in my house that don't have art. And I always save them because I thought, well, all the other art in my house is this type of art you see here behind me.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll save these two walls for comic art. But in the end, I never put any up because it's so much harder with comic. I have thousands, I have so many pieces. It's hard for me to spend the money because I always custom frame, very expensive.
Archival, UV glass and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And at a private mom and pop place, not at Michael's or whatever.
Right. Somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's the thing. So I'm like, yeah, it is. How do I make that decision of the few pieces that will go up there? They're gonna, because if I'm gonna spend that money to frame them, they're gonna have to stay up there, right?
Yeah.
And I just can't narrow the entire collection down to those few pieces. So that's why they're still buying these two walls, right? However, having said that, I will say this also. It's looking right now, we talked about the Perkins Batman page that I started off the show with. Right now, it's looking like I'm not going to get anything from issue 2, but I'm, with Mike's help, with Mike's he's so kind, there is a 6-page sequence.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm such a sucker for sequences. Of course, it was much easier to buy sequences in their entirety in his other projects where the cost of the pages were like $200 on average, 300, whatever,
Yeah.
This is going to be a hell of a lot more money, but it's a 6-page sequence. And I love it. And again, it doesn't focus on Batman. It's Bruce Wayne.
Nice.
The first page is Batman showing I don't want to spoil things. Anyway,
don't spoil it. No.
But so the first one, everybody's gonna love that first page. But then the next 5 pages consecutive are essentially what I call a romantic scene. But the way that it's drawn, it looks like I'm watching an old black and white movie from the 1930s or 40s. Nice. It's just the storytelling and everything. It's just, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And all that to say that I feel like when I finally get those pages in hand, I think those are going to be the ones I ultimately frame. And 3 will probably fit here. I have enough room probably for 3. And the other 3, that's 6 pages I'm getting. And that will fill up the 2 walls, and that'll be it. I'll never have to think about.
Well, that's kind of interesting that you're putting up Batman pages and not Superman pages on the wall, right?
I know.
You don't have a Batman shirt, do you?
I don't. I wanted to get one.
Go.
Yeah. I will eventually. But yeah. But it's not. Again, it's not about that. It's just about, like, I've waited years. I can't make a decision as to what I should put up. So finally, these pages, when I saw them, I was like. At first, I was like, okay, it's expensive, so I'll buy maybe 2, But the more I looked at them, I was like, oh my God, I can't break this up. I can't in my heart, I can't break this up. It's a whole scene. I need to have the scene together. I can't, So then I started thinking, how am I going to pay for this? And then I was like, is it possible that Mike would not take some of these pages for himself? So I checked with him, and he was like, well, yeah, he intended to take the first page because, like I said, it has a very Batman-centric thing going on that's famous to early part of his career. So he wanted at least that one. But then when he told me, like, well, if it's going to make the difference between you make or break the difference of you buying the rest of the sequence, then yes, I will let you have it. You can buy the first one. I'll So okay. So that's why I'll be buying them. So yeah, it's about technique. It's just about the artistry. Okay. Like I said, yeah. There's one in all 6 pages combined. I believe there's one panel of Batman with the not helmet, the
cowl,
the cowl on. One little panel with the cowl on. Maybe a couple of other panels with him wearing the suit but no cowl. And after that, it's just him undressed or whatever. So, like I said, it's like I said, it's a romantic scene. It's a romantic thing. It's a him and I don't know. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know who the girl is, but it's him and a woman.
It's a girl. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, him and a woman. Yeah. So you smart ass. But might as well use color.
It is the 1950s after all, right? Or where?
Oh gosh. Oh, and Larry, just so you know, the problem is that they're too expensive for me anymore. I don't really care. Like, I came to the story late, so I don't have a child's sort of nostalgic feeling for it. So therefore, I don't feel I need to pay today's prices to get the artwork, And by the way, I should say, I used to own a nice, funny Superboy page from the Reign of the Superman saga. It's the one you'll see. It's somebody has it on Calf. It's the one where at the bottom panel, Supergirl standing like this in front of Superboy, and his face is at her chest level, and he's all nervously talking, and he says something like, "Oh, chest joking."
I think I remember that one.
Yeah. So I used to own that, and I bought that back in the day for like $75 or something,
right.
and I sold it for like $125. So even 10, 12 years ago, the stuff was still, you couldn't find it too often, but when you did, it still wasn't expensive. Only Death of Superman people seem to go for back in those days. The 3 follow-ups weren't considered necessarily anything special because they weren't the Death of Superman, Yeah.
But they are worth some money now. I mean, people are picking those up like here and there.
They're all worth a lot of money now. Yeah, for sure. From all 4 parts, for sure. Rooms usually have 4 walls. Yeah, window behind me though. Remember, that ain't working. Okay, what about a room? Okay, another pick on the wall. As well use color mats. You guys are funny.
Keep going.
Walls, nice. Batman porn. I think you're trying to say film noir.
Something like that.
It's very, very much like film noir, Carl. All 6 in one frame. Can you imagine? Oh, brutal. Oh, that would be brutal. Now, if you have a giant wall, it might look pretty cool. But, can you imagine having to move that if you ever had to move? Oh, God.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
How long would that be? Oh, my God. Ugh.
The cost of it would be way more than anything that you
Exactly. Batman, greater than Superman. Well, I don't know. I used to think, there was a time, but nah. Deep down in my heart, it's Superman first. Those 6 pages will also be a great representation of your relationship with Mike. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Carl. Exactly. It's kind of comes full circle, So absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah. Cowl, thank you. Yes. Bad swang. Ooh la la. Cowl on, cowl off. Cowling at the moon. You guys are crazy. I thought that he was talking about Robin. What wasn't with Superman? The pages that I was going to put up. Freudian slip. Hart and Rubén, do you guys own complete comic book artwork? Do you mean complete stories?
I have one, but it's not. Yeah? It's a golden age. It's from a Phantom. Lee Falk's Phantom. It's a backup story by Paul Norris, and it's who's the? It's like a riff on Buck Rogers' character. It's not a Buck Rogers character, but it's by Paul Norris, 4 pages. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I've had it for years. But that's the only full. It's only 4 pages though, right? So it's not like.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a 4-page story. So I could never own a whole page or a whole book.
Yeah, he's saying the whole issue. Yeah. So Mike Perkins had when he was working at CrossGen back in the early 2000s, he started on a book. He was doing mostly inking, and then he started a new series called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And the first story arc was 6 issues long, but they only got to the 5th issue before the company finally, it went into bankruptcy. They never published the 6th issue. But I have 3 of those issues complete, and I have the other 3 in various states of incompleteness. Other than that, no, it's just too hard. I don't like it. It's one of the most frustrating, if not the most frustrating thing about collecting, trying to complete books. It's such an exercise in frustration. Whatever. I don't even want to.
I never want to have a whole issue. I mean, that's the thing. Right. It's like I just want a page, a good example, or a couple pages, maybe consecutive, and I'm good.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's very tough. Absolutely. Listen, I know a lot of guys who have tried, and they tried for decades, literally decades, and still couldn't do it. And there's even guys who came within 2 or 3 pages and then spent 20 years with those last 2 or 3 missing pages still missing. And they still didn't find them. And in the end, we're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here. I'm selling this all. All right. So all that effort for nothing, not worth it. When newer collectors ask me about that, I always say, listen, do what you want. Do what you want, but right, like if you think it's something that's going to be fun, good. But I tell them the absolute truth. I don't think you're going to enjoy it. You're going to be so frustrated. It's going to be an exercise more in frustration than anything else. So yeah, I always advise against it. Now little stories are fun if you can buy like little 8-page stories. Like Lee says, and I do own an 8-page story from Mike Perkins only because it was the last thing he did at Marvel before he went to DC. And it was he had never drawn Daredevil, and he had wanted to do a long run on Daredevil. And finally, in Daredevil 600, he got to do an 8-page story. And I was like, there's 2 splashes in it. Really cool. But then the first page has 1 image of Daredevil in costume. And then the other 5 pages don't have any Daredevil. Okay. So I was like, well, if I put this out for sale, I'm going to sell the 2 splashes.
Right.
And then the other 6 pages are going to be stuck there, because, whatever, not enough or no Daredevil. So I was like, you know what? I can't bear to do that. I hate when that happens. I'll buy it just to keep it together as a story. Yeah. So I bought it as a story. It's in my cap gallery. If anybody wants, you just look under Mike Perkins, Mike, Daredevil 600 or whatever. Yeah. But that's it, Otherwise, no. Plus the storage issue, but most people can't afford to get tons of full issues. Yeah, but if you could, then it would be then storage issue would become an issue. But for most people, it's not. Just by complete when they come out. Yeah, true. But it's a lot of money, right? Especially these days, easy to store in a portfolio. That is true. Archie stories, that's true. Those are fun too. Archie's pretty fun because they're short.
Plus, the art doesn't go just to the inkers or the pencilers. The writers get sometimes gifted the pages from the penciler or inker.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're trying to collect the whole story, then you have to go after the writer, and most likely the writer will hold on to it because it's one of their pieces. I mean, this one of their stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So Mike says, I'm 2 or 3 pages short on several stories. Yeah. The catch-22 is the art is probably cheap, so there's no incentive for the owner to sell it. Yeah, exactly. That's another reason. It makes it more frustrating. Hey, Dan, these days go half inker, half go penciler. No, it's a 2/3. 2/3, 1/3. It's not half and half. It's 2/3 penciler, 1/3 inker. That's always been that way.
Yeah.
Even then, the artists sometimes lose, destroy, hold on to appreciate. Yeah, like collect and hold on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an exercise in frustration. So there you go. There's the answer for that.
Why didn't the letterer get it, Ruben? I'm just wondering why the letterer didn't get any. Just because.
Honestly, no offense to the letterers, you don't deserve. You don't look.
Well, if they did the page 1 splash, they did the lettering for that. That's pretty darn good stuff. I mean, coming from a graphic designer, I've seen those pages. They put effort into it. They don't just, slap the.
I'm not saying that there's no effort. Of course, there's effort. Okay, but I think just like most people are on my side of the fence with this, I think that while there is an art to lettering, yes, right. Of course there is. Of course there is. I think I and most other people still do not consider the lettering that you see on any given comic book page as artwork. Like, in other words, it's not part of the fantasy world we're all reading about.
Right.
They're there for sound effects. I can see that. Right? They're there for sound effects and to let us know what the characters are saying. Right? Because they can't speak to us. But it's not part of the actual world, right?
But they have to fit it into a panel, and they have to do it in a way that's constrained and looks good, right? I mean, I understand that your point. The letters don't get anything. That's the way of the world when it comes to the piecing out the art. But sometimes if you look at the older art, I'm talking about old art. I'm not talking about the ones that have stats on them that are nowadays computer graphics. I'm talking about guys that were doing the work. You see the pencil lines. There's a little drawn on page, and you see them, and they did each letter looks exactly like the other letter, and it's perfect because it's a hard thing to do. I mean, it's not like the easiest thing to do because you are really precise.
I get it, but like Mike says, lettering is an art, but it's not artwork.
I understand that. Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah, I understand. But I come from a typography kind of background where it's type is what makes the world go around in the design industry, right? I mean, without type, you wouldn't get posters or advertisements or anything that will attract you. I mean, the pictures are attractive, but there needs to be something to be said about it. And that's where the lettering comes in and so forth. But yeah, I'm getting off my soapbox. Sorry about that. I lost. Yeah, yada.
No, listen, you're trying to give a point, sort of counterpoint. That's fine. It's a good thing to discuss, because there was a time, for those of you who don't know, there was a time, a very short time during the second half of the 70s, where the writers were complaining that they deserved some of the original art. And so there was an edict from the higher ups to say, okay, from every issue, then the writer from now on gets 2 pages. So writers got 2 pages, or basically, so
nobody fought for the letters. I know.
Nobody fought for the letterers. Listen. The artists back then were pissed off. The artists were like, "What?
Yeah,
you're gonna give 1 or 2 of my fucking pages to the writer?
Probably the best ones too."
Yeah, like he's got his original typewritten script. That's his collectible, right? If that ever turns into a collectible, then they'll make money with that. Like it's not the artist's fault that their scripts weren't collectibles. You know what I mean? So it just, and I feel the same thing for the letterer, and the same thing for, like these guys are mentioning, the colorist. Okay, Maki Pupu. Well, the colorists used to get their color guides. Yeah, back in the pre-computer days, you got your color guide. It's not the pencil or inker's fault that, generally speaking, on the whole, collectors never built a market for the color guides, right? It's not their fault. Whatever, it is what it is. So, but that's your part of the production process, and you get to keep it. Yeah. Right.
Well, everything's production process, right? From the art inking to the lettering and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. So Rick says, should have sent them the word balloons from That's awesome.
Nice, Rick.
They gave them the lamest pages. I don't know if that's true. I prefer where it depends who doled them out, right? Yeah. I would think.
They were all assistants, right? The little assistant that piecemealed them out to...
Yeah, they usually had somebody, whatever, to do handle.
Right? Interns, or whatever equivalent were back then.
Good, listen, Maki Pupu. Good writers are hard to find. So are good artists, good inkers, good pencil, whatever. Everybody, who's good, it's hard to find, right? But that's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with whether a letterer or a writer deserves to get a piece of the hand-drawn, penciled, and inked artwork. That's where I stand on it.
But I heard this story. I'm not sure if it's real, because it's. But Neil Gaiman, doesn't he own some of his own the pages from Sandman?
I don't know. All I know is he just recently had a heritage auction of
he did. Okay.
Art collection, yeah. There was a Neil Gaiman art collection auction on Heritage.
So he must have gotten or held on to some of the art, or been given the art by the artist. Who knows?
Of course. Yeah. A lot of them are they're given it. Nowadays, though, more and more, the writers know that if they want a page, they're going to have to buy it, because the art is so expensive now,
Right, okay.
It's not like when it was on average $50 a page. Okay, yeah. Here
but
you
there's
go.
No word balloons on the pages now, right? Huh? Because there's no word balloons on the pages.
Right.
If you have an overlay, that's fine, but you have to get an overlay done, right, to put the thoughts of the writer back on there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at Marcus. Come on, some image guys wrote their own books and sold hundreds of thousands of copies. If you call that writing, sure.
No, that's not writing.
They wrote their own books. Yeah, sure. Wow, I did not know pages were shared amongst the staff. Yeah, you see, you come here, you learn something every week, Karl. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, Image might have been, prolific in their number of copies and all that, but art and words kind of didn't mesh for me. Image was like hit, miss, hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, everyone, let us move on to the next one because we are way behind. This is it ended up being a hangout talk show.
Don't you shut up, right?
Right.
Right.
So okay, next page, everybody. Sticking with DC, but to the opposite of the last Lois page in agony for her father's death, this is the opposite of that. This is from Green Lantern, New Guardians. It's a Brad Walker, Andrew Hennessy page. And I just thought this was a beautiful storytelling page of, look, the bottom line is I love romantic scenes. I love nicely done romantic scenes. And I love that this one fits that for me. I love the fact that it's 4 panels. It keeps your eye moving throughout each of the panels. And unlike often when you see a scene like this where it's, the couple is about to kiss in 4 or 5 panels, and they're typically always kind of just looking at each other throughout the whole thing. I love the fact that in each and every panel, their heads, even though they're facing each other, their bodies are facing each other. I just love the fact that their heads are doing something different in each one. So they're looking away into that dimensional portal in the first panel. Then their heads turn into the second panel, but they're still not looking at each other. They're just, they have their foreheads against each other, looking down, their eyes closed. Then in the third panel, they separate, still looking towards each other, but still with eyes closed. And then until finally the kiss scene in the final panel. I just think it's lovely storytelling. And again, if you like kissing pages, romantic scenes, this one fit the bill for me. And FYI, for those of you interested in such things, this page is a Blue Line pencils, inked. So it's original inks by Andrew Hennessy over Blue Line printout of the pencils by Brad Walker. Brad still had the pencils, and I didn't want to buy them. I just didn't care. To me, I got what I wanted. I want the finished art. I know what his pencils look like. They don't. Right. They're lovely to study, but once
they're not finished.
Yeah, once I've seen them, I don't need to keep seeing them. So, if this page was done traditionally, I wouldn't see the pencils anyways. They would be under those inks. So what do I do? Right? Yeah. So, they don't stand out. This is the finished art. So this is what I love. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is for me. This is,
very nice page.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm surprised that the coloring did such a bad job on her hair on the last part of the panel, the bottom one.
Yeah, how they drowned out the highlights of her hair.
All those highlights are gone. That sucks.
It's so ridiculous. I know.
Yeah.
It's not that I make a point of, it's not like I have a subcategory or a subset of romance art that I'm collecting, Marcus. But I'm just saying that when it's a nice sort of kissing or romantic scene, I like them. And, if the price is right, I'll buy them.
So everybody go out and buy romance art and then sell it back to Rubén. Yeah, that's it.
Flip them to me and make a million. Yeah.
You're worth $1 million, right?
Yeah. He loves Katie Keene, we know that, and you love them with wedding gowns. I get that. Yeah. It's cool. That's what's kind of fun about that, It's a nice little subset to collect. I think we're alone now. Oh my gosh. What's a Blue Line? Well, tune in to Lee Parmeter's upcoming episode, and he'll teach you what a Blue Line is.
Yeah.
Blue lips. Most times the pencils don't look as nice. Yeah, exactly. I see no blue. Yeah, well, it's all covered up. The pencils were very tight, Marcus, so that's why. He's a very tight penciler, so there's really, there's nothing you can really see. But you can see the blue in the bottom sort of corner and a little bit on Star Sapphire. That's Star Sapphire, by the way. This is Kyle Rayner, the Green Lantern. Kyle Rayner used to be known as Ion for a while, and that's Star Sapphire. But this is not the original Star Sapphire. This is Carol Ferris. Yep. So that original first love interest of the original Silver Age Green Lantern. Hal Jordan. So
Hal Jordan,
yeah. So that's fun.
So she gets around.
Yeah. I think a lot of these girls do. Have to step away for a minute. No worries. Very interesting show. Love everyone's insight on the pieces. Watching Rewind. Thank you for being here, Jared. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
sorry
Jared.
I talked so much. You only got to see like 4 pieces so far. I could choose 5 pages to keep from Austin or Simonson that they still most likely own. who do you choose? If you could choose, yeah. Oh, sorry, man, but we're too way behind to start tackling that type of a topic. That's a good topic for like maybe just a hangout episode.
I'd say neither, but let's keep moving on.
Yeah. Ratman always emphasizes the finished art, right? A lot of inkers will, of course, they want to stick up for themselves and they're part of the craft. The color is softened, the curvy craft.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. Kind of dulled down.
Yeah, there you go. But anyways, there you go. So thank you, everybody. Now, everybody, let's go to the next one immediately. The next one is specifically, I brought it in specifically to show it to Rick, because Rick has been, I guess, begging for it to I don't know why. He can see it in my gallery, but okay.
Didn't you send it to me just now or off page? Oh, no. Okay.
What's that?
Didn't you just sell it to me before we got on the show?
Off camera or off screen?
Yeah. I'm gonna sell it to Rick or to CJ. One of the guys.
In the private, we just do a deal for it in the private
exactly.
Chat. Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, check this one out. So this is the Elementals #1 cover, wraparound cover by Bill Willingham and Bill Anderson from 1984. What can I say about this? My
awesome
memories.
Page. Awesome cover. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah. My memories are just of walking into my store one day. I hadn't even heard of the book, and I look up at the wall of my shop. I'm looking at the wall books, and I see the beautiful white background cover shining through because it was in a My Light bag.
Right.
Remember those guys? My Lights, not My Lar, the My Lights, because they were cheaper.
Lights, yeah.
Super thin, but shiny. They made the comic look so amazing. And it was on the wall for $10, and I'm like, wow, that looks like such a cool group. What the heck is up with that? But wow, it's not Marvel, it's not DC. Oh my God, and that's a villain group that's gonna fight them. Like, wow, this looks so awesome. And it was like $10 though, $10. Like, wow, when did this come out? And it's like, oh, it came out last month. I'm like, what, already? I was like, oh, come on. And then in the fan press of the time, the prozines,
right,
CBG, things like that, I started reading about it, like, oh, Elementals, hot comic, whatever, sold out everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get this. And interestingly enough, at my store where I lived, I was not able to get it right off the stand until issue 4.
I got mine at issue 2. Because I started on issue 2, and then I had to wait for my comic shop to get the issue 1 back in as a back issue, and I think I paid $15 for it, or almost $20 for it, which was really crazy at the time too.
Oh wow! You paid the goods.
Because the biggest thing that drew me is that not only the team itself, but the lettering or the logo itself. That was the greatest thing for me. I was like, oh my God, that's cool logo. And then when I read the stories, I'm like, this is really good. Yeah. And very different from what Marvel and DC were doing at the time, obviously.
Yeah. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello. Happy Easter to you.
Yes. Happy Easter, Alberto.
Marcus has claimed this one. All right. Sorry, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
It's out the door, and Hart is going to be shipping this.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to ship it in a tube. I'll roll it up and send it to you, Marcus. No problem.
That's funny. Nice. Yeah, thank you. A banger.
So where did you find this?
What's that?
Where did you find this? Where did you get this?
Oh, I bought this off of Gary Land, of all people.
Oh, really? I bought stuff from Gary, too.
Yeah. Like ages ago. I can't remember.
Ages ago, yeah. It's like...
Yeah. I think I put... I'd have to check. I think I put this in my gallery back in like 2008, I think. Yeah. But I think I already owned it for a while by that point,
I was on the hunt for Elementals a long time ago, but then I gave up because there weren't any.
Spent extra for the Mylar bag. That's so funny. Bill would love to get this. Yeah, well, he knows. Trust me, he knows I have it. And he actually, believe it or not, he has this one piece, right? That one cover, but he has tried selling it. #1 Marvel.
The color one? The color Amazing Heroes?
I don't know if it was that. Was it that one, or was it like another? Yeah, whatever. He's got one, or maybe he had 2 at one point.
Okay,
but he tried selling them or whatever, and yeah, so he's not that tied and too tied to it or whatever. Rich Cirillo also loves it. Hell, Albert Moy of all people loves it so much that he left me a comment, and he never leaves comments.
Yeah. You know, I always like the second issue cover because it's got Sarker, or what's the bad guy's name?
Oh, right. You have it. It's almost like it's something like Sarker, something Urker.
Yeah. It's an S or a, I don't know, but it shows the Earth character from the Elementals. I forget his name, obviously. The kid. And the just his face on one side of the page or the cover, and then Harker or Sarker, Sarder. Okay, Sarder. Thank you, guys. Sader. Sarder.
One says Sarder, one says Sader.
Okay. Well, it's somewhere in that region, but he's in a black suit with a black tie. Saker.
I think it had a K in it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just like that cover. It was really nice. So anyway, but this is a lot better. It has everything. It has Chrysalis and Avalanche.
Yeah. I love this. You know, somebody mentioned that it's not. I think it was Marcus. Was it Marcus who mentioned? That it's not the first appearance. No, exactly.
No, Justice Machine was. Yeah.
But I hated the Justice Machine cover. First of all,
Gustavich.
No, it was actually Michael Golden.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, but it just like I don't know. There's something about it. I just didn't like it. And the Elementals were on the back part of the cover, so they were on the right. Right? Yeah. And the Elementals, I just find they look ugly the way he drew them. So
yeah.
And you know what? Even as a guy wanting to buy that first issue off the wall for $10 at my store, I didn't. At the same time, the Justice Machine was also on the wall, and they had it for $35.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? For that same price, I could have bought at the time the first appearance of Alpha Flight and X-Men 121, and I would rather have had that, than some brand new thing I've never heard of before.
Yeah. Rick got the name, Lord Saker. He got it right. That is the name.
It is. Okay, so I was right about the K then. Okay.
Yeah, you were right. But I mean, I always liked the character. I don't know what her name was. The one of the villains, the one that has like elastic Mr. Fantastic powers.
Yeah.
Because she would suffocate people with her own body, and I thought that was like, wow, that's pretty genius. Take them out that way.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was really, really cool. And also, now I no, I don't have any Matt Wagner Mage artwork. Actually,
yeah.
Elementals equals Teen FF with mullets. Nice. And I'll just for those of you who don't remember the comic, this is what it looks like. So here you go. The nice bright white background, loved it. And just looks so awesome on a wall with the bright contrasting bright green and orangey and pinks colors coming off of it. So yeah, thought that was great.
I think my copy had a little discoloration on the white.
Say that.
The copy of the first issue, the white background on my comic was always like cream colored or something like blotchy on some certain parts.
Oh, yeah. It's like
it wasn't white.
Right. It had some kind of blotchy. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think a lot, if not all, if you look carefully, might have had that,
Yeah.
But anyways, so there you go, Rick. I don't know. I don't know why you would want to see that, given you could see it in my gallery, but I'm glad that you're a fan, so I'm glad, and I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Okay, so there will be no mats at all. Thank you. But the next piece, everybody, we go back to my buddy Mike Perkins, and this is not because I wanted to do another one of Mike's pieces, but just because I wanted to show my love for Cyborg Superman. Of course, this is while he was attacking the Green Lantern Corps. So he changed, used his powers to sort of change the logo from Superman to basically antagonize them and put the Green Lantern logo on his chest throughout the storyline. And so this is a DPS, everyone. Check it out. And I can show you the color version here.
Yeah.
And from Green Lanterns, number 56, page 2 and 3 from 2018. It was the one and only story arc that Mike did, written by Dan Jurgens, his partner on the current The Batman First Night series. So yeah, just like I said, I love Cyborg Superman, and so when Mike got on this to do a story arc, and he told me that it was going to involve Cyborg Superman, I was like, okay, I'm getting any and all cool kick-ass splashes, double splashes of featuring Cyborg Superman. This is my one chance, and so yes, I took advantage, and that's what I did. And I think I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 if you include half splashes. I probably have like 5 or 6 splashes, double splashes, half splashes, or whatever from this series, all featuring Cyborg Superman.
You went to town with that, didn't you?
I went to town.
Yeah.
But I also bought a few panel pages as well. I got some panel pages as well. I didn't want to be super greedy and only take the big pages or whatever.
You should complete the whole story. Buy the whole story. Right.
And actually, FYI, Perkins hasn't drawn Steel to my knowledge. But just for a good laugh, if he ever does, I'll buy a page, okay? Just for you.
Oh, guys. Now you're turning the whole thing around. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, Ian. Great to be here. Very good taste. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Sweet, sick piece. Thank you. Look at that. But yeah, and actually, I almost got the whole lot of splashes, double splashes. I did, but then Dan Jurgens reached out to me privately, and he was like, hey, by any chance, for those of you who don't know, Dan Jurgens created Cyborg Superman during the Reign of the Superman storyline after the death of Superman. So that's his creation. So it's a character near and dear to Dan Jurgens' heart. And so he reached out to me and he goes, oh, by any chance you have any splash pages unsold or whatever? And I felt guilty because I had them all, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
I was like, fuck. Like the greedy prick that I am. I'm like, fuck. I can't keep them all, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, Dan. Yeah, I have them. They are sold, but they're all sold to me. But I'll sell you one, whatever. And I sold him one. So he was happy, whatever. It is what it is. I guess you can't have it all. Even when you think you can't have it all.
So you made $50,000 profit. So what?
Oh yeah, right. I sold it at my cost. So
yeah, I figured you would. You softy. Everybody on the chat, just ask for the cost price now.
It was. Don't you steel block me. Look at that. That's funny. What's awesome, Marcus? What were you saying awesome about? You came and liked that one. Showing the artwork? Was it the artwork you thought was awesome? I don't know. I'm sure Jim Shooter co-created Cyborg Superman in some way. What? I don't know what you mean by that. I have to get ready for Easter dinner. Thanks for another fun episode. Mahalo to you. Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you.
Have a great Carl. Have a good night.
Good night to you and to your girlfriend. Give her the best from us.
Yep.
Okay. So from there, let us move on, everyone, to the next piece in the collection. Oh man, I really, we're gonna be here for 4 hours if I don't speed this up. So, okay, this one, the next few pieces are in my gallery, so I'll try to say very little on purpose. Feel free to say whatever you say, Hart, if you want, and if you say something, I'll try to say nothing.
Okay.
So the next piece,
sounds great.
I've already kind of told a story about this one. It was the story. Well, this is the second volume of this, but the first volume of which got me back into comics after leaving for 7 or 8 years. So let's just show this. This is a cover to the first out of the 3. So Road to Perdition had come out in 1998 as an original graphic novel. And then a few years later, they did a sequel called On the Road to Perdition. And for whatever strange reason, rather than market it again as a original single graphic novel, it was an original graphic novel, but they split it into 3 smaller novelettes. So that's kind of weird. So this is the book 1 of the 3 books. And yeah, David Michael Beck did the cover. And yeah, I just love this movie. I read the book before I saw the movie. So I love the book, the first book. And so, yeah, I just fell in love with it. Like I said, it brought me back to comics. And yeah, so there you go. I love it. That's why I have it. So there you go. And did you ever see the movie out of curiosity, Hart?
No, I did see bits and pieces at one point. It's it didn't hit me as something that I wanted to really get into.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's the Untouchables were good for me, and most of those gangster movies is kind of not my
it's not your thing. It's
favorite thing. Yeah,
I get it. That's cool. Thank you, Marquez. Awesome that I would buy Steel. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he ever has to draw him, you know. I doubt that you'll say nothing. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate that. Why, you little Ayata? Really should have bought the whole story. Oh my God, yeah. That first story, I thought about it. You know that. Pretty cover. Thank you, sir. Great work. Nice cover from a great story. Thank you. And I'm glad you're a fan as well, Lee. Film near us when we were in Chicago Burbs. Wow, yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you. So that's cool. All right, so go on to the next one. The next one again, also in my gallery. And this next one is, and I read my description. If you haven't already, read my description. I say that the inking, especially in particular, you know, the art here is not very good. Early work for this artist, and the inking kind of not suitable so much. But anyways, it's a great image. I just didn't, you know, not a great example of the artist's work, but whatever. It's a cool image. I love this story though. So Hulk 312. The reason I loved it so much, this story, it's called Monster, as you can see. It's because of the fact that up until this point, all we knew about the Hulk's origin was, okay, he was running out during a bomb test, right, in New Mexico, and got sprayed by the gamma rays trying to save Rick Jones, and that's it. And so those gamma rays somehow made him turn into a monster, you know. But then in this issue, Bill Mantlo, credit to him, he introduced this whole idea of how Bruce Banner, so basically it's the origin of Bruce Banner in his entire life before Hulk #1. And he introduced the idea that Bruce Banner was a victim of his father's child abuse. Physical and verbal child abuse. And so ultimately it's that the
rage that's inside.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like, and I thought, what a fantastic idea, that spending your entire youth growing up, right, being abused by your father, and all that rage that you hold and that builds up and you hold inside of you, you keep inside of you all those years, and that it coalesces, and in combination with getting sprayed now by those gamma rays is what sort of somehow allowed the monster within him that was really truly built by how his father treated him, right, to finally come out and release that anger that way. And yeah, I just thought it was just absolutely, what a brilliant idea. And the sad thing for me, not that I care about like collecting comics anymore, but it's a sad thing for me that to this day, nobody cares. Nobody seems to know about it. I thought back then that this was going to become a super hot issue, that everybody would be, you know, thinking of it. It should. I still to this day believe it should be a really super key issue in the Hulk mythos. And it just whatever. Nobody cared.
But nobody's ran with it, so it kind of went to the side without any kind of recognition.
Say again?
Well, it seems like nobody ran with it afterwards and didn't get the recognition that it needed.
No, exactly. That's my whole thing. But that's what shocks me. I was like, it's such a I don't know. It's just such an amazing, great idea to tie it in and make it more about, you know, this is really the reason, right, that he had the Hulk within him, or the anger that represents the Hulk, and the cosmic rays, the gamma rays just brought that out of him, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. It's like, it's like one of the most brilliant sort of origin add-ons I've ever read to me. Yeah.
Maybe Marvel didn't feel like it would fit where they were heading with the Hulk in later issues, you know?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I can't say. I guess we'll never know. But yeah. It's sad to me that it's not looked upon as any. It's probably, you can probably find it in anybody's whatever dollar bins or whatever.
But that's the way you like this page because of that. I mean, that's how it seems to you as far as your like.
Right. Thank you. And let me tell you something else to let everybody know. Really importantly, so I own this page, and I own 3 other pages from the story, and the 3 other pages are pages that have to do with Bruce as a child. Okay. And that's what I want. So I got all 4 of these pages in my early years of collecting. And at the time, I think I even wrote in my gallery when I started posting them, if anybody has any pages from this, let me know. I never found another page from this issue after my 4th page.
Wow.
Okay, sorry, that's not altogether true. I did find 1 or 2 pages, but they were Hulk-centric, so only Hulk.
Okay.
I actually don't want those. It's not for images of the Hulk that I want pages from the issue.
Right.
It's this origin of Bruce Banner that really means something to me, So those are the only pages I want. I want the pages without the Hulk, the ones that just show the history of Bruce growing up,
right. Of the pages that you do have, are they consecutive or are they just... No? Okay.
No, they're not. Yeah. But yeah, whatever. I don't know where they all are, but it is what it is. They still don't know who owns the Hulk. What? Who? Oh, right. Even Disney didn't make a Hulk movie, so give it time. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the hunt for Alpha Flight Mignola pages, and I never found those. And they were a dime a dozen, right? Nobody really wanted those. I think it was Talaoc that was inking as well.
Talaoc,
Talaoc, yeah. So, I mean, I just like the stories. For me, that was Alpha Flight is about the stories, not about the battles that they had.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. But yeah, who knows? Who knows these? Who can answer some of these questions sometimes, right?
Yeah.
We don't
Any
really
Alpha Flight Mignola pages out there? Please come in.
Yeah, there you go. Reach out to Hart.
Reach out.
Lee is mentioning
cheap.
Lee mentions that supposedly Barry Windsor-Smith had defined that whole storyline and expanded upon it, right, in his book called Monsters, right? But Marvel didn't want to go for it. That's the reason he put it out as Monsters. Yeah, exactly. It was tied into that whole thing, yeah. But okay, let us go to the next page, everybody. And for that, another one that's in my gallery. Many of you have commented on it. My one and only page from this artist. I don't know. If you've got something to say, you say it. I'll try to stay quiet.
Right.
It is DC Hart, so
too late
to say about this. Here we go. Everybody check this one out. It kicks ass.
Oh, really?
Don't you think?
Yeah, it does. I know who the artist is. He's unknown, right? He never shows up anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's got shades of Neil Adams, obviously, but but I think Jose puts his own spin on things too, and he's a draftsman. No matter what you look at him, he's just super good at what he does.
No, absolutely. Very dynamic figures always.
I mean, if you look at the poses, none of them are like just action poses and striking a pose kind of thing, just for the sake of striking a pose. They're he actually does do like life drawing imagery kind of thing, in my opinion, because it's like, it's not heroic in a sense. Right. It's just persons sitting down or lying down or whatever it is, just taking an action alone.
Yeah, and I love it. And when I bought it when it came out, the comic book, and when I was buying this in '86, this was a page that just, because of the poses, the dynamism in the poses, this page was seared into my memory, and so it just blew my mind. Like 30 years later, or whatever, however long it was, that suddenly it hit the market, you know, and I was able to get it. Like, out of all the pages,
was it on eBay?
I'm trying to remember. God, I don't remember where I got this. It was an auction. I don't remember.
Okay.
Like, it was the auction process. I don't remember which one though. Yeah, but
yeah, you lucked out right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, beautiful. And I must say, because we always bitch about the coloring on my channel. I love the coloring here.
Really, you do?
Yeah, I do. I like the blues, and I like the different shades of red, especially on the bottom image of a Deadman. Yeah, I mean, for the coloring of the time, I think this was a cut above the usual.
Well, my thing is the fourth panel, the way that his screaming face is kind of just in shadow. There's nothing like highlighting it at all.
Right.
I mean, that to me kind of sets it too far back. And it's actually depth-wise, that's coming forward, right? Because it's the largest image in that panel. So it should be more lit towards the viewer. But that's just me. Yeah. Who am I? I'm not a colorist. I'm not even an artist.
Maybe it is just you. But no, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. We all have our tastes, right? So
yeah,
that's cool. But very nice.
Nice
I'm
job.
happy with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very happy to have that one. And
did he ink it as well?
Yeah, it was the whole series was pencil and ink.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's really neat. And look at that. You got an agreement.
Lee, thank you, Lee. Yeah.
Yeah. And Marcus
That's one. All I need is one.
Marcus wants us to remind us. The colorists got their color guide back.
Oh wow. And they kept it for ages.
They still have it.
They still have it, right?
They still have it. Okay, so who was it? Was it Tommy? No. One of you mentioned this one. So this next one, of course, you've seen it. You've seen it in my gallery as well. Hey, from the other Tom from Chicago. What's up, Tom? Happy Easter to you. And thanks for dropping in. This next one, yes, it's has a lot of comments from a lot of you. So let's see if you have anything to say about this, Hart. Anything to say? Does this strike you? Not really.
Well, I mean, it's iconic because it's a what if, right? But it's also
for me, it's iconic more because it is what if, but it's not. It's iconic more because it's related to Hulk 181.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, for me, I was never. I wouldn't say a Wolverine fan. I became a Wolverine fan later on.
Right.
But for me, it was like I didn't start reading this stuff too much. You know, I wasn't into Hulk as much as probably you were when you were young. So for me, it was just like I knew what issue 181 was because it was always on the comic shelf, you know, an expensive $30, $40, you know, or even $20, I think, at the time. And, you know, but for me, it was like, you know, not what I wanted to collect as far as comics is concerned. But, I mean, Bob did a really good job with the art, though. I mean,
Listen. It's a nicer looking page than Herb Trimpe's original.
I think Esposito really did a good job inking it, because it really is. Wendigo's fur is really nicely done. I mean, it's a lot of work on that one.
Yeah, nicely rendered. Yeah. You know what? I thought it was cool again because of the whole 181. I mean, most people love Wolverine. I always thought as a kid, like, you know, I would see 181 on the wall at the store, and I'd be like, oh my God, it was my dream to own it. And,
oh, really?
yeah. And as a big Hulk fan, especially, right? So Hulk fan, collecting Hulk, and then also loving Wolverine. So, and even to this day, I would say it's probably the most traded back and forth, bought and sold back issue. Probably, I would think. I mean, I don't think there's any statistics that keep track of this stuff, but right? But
yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I mean, next to like Punisher first appearance, I think it's probably the first.
Oh, I would think this. I would think this sells way more often than ASM 129.
Really? Well,
I would absolutely think so. Yeah, yeah, the Hulk 181. But people can chime in and let us know what they think. But the thing is here's the thing is like when I was a kid, I was like, wow, like why hasn't Hulk and Wolverine? Why hasn't Marvel put them together again? Like that's the thing to do. Why haven't they put them together for a rematch, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't do it. And like when I bought this page, those many years ago, I thought, man, this is really important artwork because yes, okay, it's What If, but I thought, geez, if you start looking at the dates, you've got, in terms of Hulk Wolverine, like sketch collectors, superhero sketch collectors, tons of them get Hulk versus Wolverine commission, right? I mean, it's such an iconic thing in comics, Hulk versus Wolverine.
Right.
And I thought that came out in 74, right? Hulk 181. This issue, in retrospect, it's like it's really early because it's a 1981. So it's only 7 years after the Hulk 181, right? Then they didn't do anything with the two characters after this until Hulk 340 when McFarlane brought Wolverine.
That's the famous cover,
Right. But the thing about it is that then in 2009, when Len Wein's house went up in flames and his complete story to 181 went up in flames with it, you didn't know about that?
No, I didn't. I've heard little bits about it, but I didn't know exactly the circumstances.
Yeah. So it went up in flames. The complete issue went up in flames. So it became even more important to me to have this page because I was like, well, you got the first appearance in the last page of Hulk 180, right? In Tom Fish's collection, right? The one that 10 years ago or 12 years ago sold for $600 and whatever $1,000, which today would be, I don't know, a couple of million, whatever,
Whatever, yeah.
Then the next earliest Hulk Wolverine matchup on a published comic is the What If.
Oh, okay.
Right? Except for if you include Hulk 182, right? So after 181, you get 182. Hulk appears on the first page or first two pages. That's when the Canadian government comes to pick him up again and take him away. He was Weapon X at the time.
Right.
They come and collect him or whatever. But in terms of, the whole Wendigo, Hulk, Wolverine, Wendigo, right? This is the earliest thing, because the 181 art no longer exists.
Right, exactly.
And after that, it's, the artwork for Hulk 340, the McFarlane stuff. So it's very, very, very key piece of Marvel art, of Hulk Wolverine art, so I'm like super, super happy. I was always very happy to have it. But, after I heard that story no longer existed, I was, oh my God, even happier that I have that, since the Splash is a takeoff of the original Trimpy Splash, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just think it's just kind of special, I find,
So is it frameable on your wall, or is it?
No, I don't have any comic art on my wall.
No, I'm saying if you had the option of you sold off your collection to the core that you want to keep, would that be worthy of going on the wall?
I don't know,
because it's an iconic piece, I
know, but see, the thing for me is I always struggle choosing between artwork that's important, let's say some kind of historical importance, and just aesthetics, So that's the thing, and that's why I said when I talked earlier about the Batman art that's going to be coming for me, from the latest brand new Batman. Like this. All these years that I left these two walls empty for comic art, it looks like I'm probably, gonna fill them up finally. And look what I'm gonna do. My plan is to fill it up with brand new art, not not classic, more vintagey, more important, popular Hulk and Wolverine. I'm probably putting up the Batman stuff, and I'm doing it because and it speaks to me as a
Right.
sequence. Speaks to me. The mood of the pages just speaks to me. It pulls me and brings me into the story. I just feel like that's what I want to look at. So
with that in mind, does it speak to you even though it doesn't have any word balloons?
Oh yeah,
When
I'm okay.
It works for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as I said, because of how Mike is doing the art on this series, when you and because it's set in 1939, and I'm already a fan of film noir.
Right.
Okay, Hollywood.
We can see that.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Because of that, I can picture them on my wall, 3 here, 3 there, and it looks, when I look at them in the scans, the thumbnails, just the thumbnail scan, it feels like I'm looking at movie stills of an old black.
I got you. Okay.
You know,
that's good. That's good. That makes it all the more worthwhile to frame them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like, I feel like it's got to be that. That's what speaks to me, and I feel like I want to do it. Gray mat for wash tone art. We'll see what happens, Marcus. Don't worry. I'll show you pictures.
He's gonna go with pink. He's gonna go with pink. Pink.
Yeah.
Just do pink.
Once it's all done, I'll show you guys pictures or whatever. That's it. Probably not. Yeah, exactly. No, we'll see. We'll see. I'll show you guys pictures.
All right, next.
Let's keep it moving. So the next piece, everybody, I'll say what I gotta say. We'll move through it quickly. It is Superboy, number 56, page 22, the last page of the story by Tom Grummett and Karl Kesel. And this is the last page splash, which features the first appearance, the birth page, if you will, of Serling Roquette. And only those of you who read Superboy for some time during this era will know who this is. And basically, she was just a supporting character. She was a super smart, highly intelligent a teenager who dressed like a 1950s, I don't know, grandma, if you will.
Yeah. She looks like a librarian.
Yeah.
Very mixed up librarian.
Yeah, but basically she's just a fun character in the again, supporting character in the Superboy run. And that's it. And I got it last year. I picked it up last year. I just thought it's always fun to get a first appearance of a character who you like.
Was she a love interest of Superboy eventually, or not at all?
No, but they kind like he initially kind of had the hots for her kind of thing.
So he hit on her a couple times.
Him on her, but then she had the hots for some other guy, whatever. So,
love triangle. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. But so I just thought just a fun character, and I thought, okay, cool. I'll pick it up just because it's her first appearance, Tiger? Cougar? Yeah, Cougar, I guess that must be.
Yeah.
A retro hipster. There you go. 1970s punk Euro. She's a cougar. A super cougar. But like I said, she's actually a teenager. So love triangle era. There you go. Yes, exactly. You saw that. You even noticed, Rick. I love that. You got a great eye. Yeah, if you look at her books there, the smaller book in the front is it's about Pez collecting. It's called Collecting Pez. So that's pretty fun.
Well, isn't that copyrighted? They can't do that.
No. Okay, so very cool. So I thought that was fun. Go to the next one, everyone. The next one, we jumped to Marvel. There wasn't that many Marvel pieces tonight, but here's a Marvel one for you all. And just FYI, so that one was not in my gallery, and the next 10 pieces are also not in my gallery. So I did that on purpose, so it would look like, okay, at least if you stuck around this long, right, we're going to finish the show with mostly things you may have seen some of this stuff before, but if you did, right, it was years ago when it was in someone else's collection or whatever, maybe,
Yeah,
but
I've never seen that page before either, so
so these next ones are all going to be from my collection, but they're not in my gallery. So okay, so before I show that next one, collecting Peds, not a gallery. Okay, so this next one is Marvel Fanfare Number 23, page 5, by the inimitable Ken Steacy, a guy who, yes, Canadian. It's really funny that I took to Ken Steacy's style back in the 80s because and I've said this before on many of my episodes, I was always into realism, right? I preferred more realistic approaches to comics. And so for me to have fallen in love with Ken Steacy's sort of more anime-inspired cartoony look.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it always spoke to me. I always loved it.
It's got Canada Dry on it, right? So that's why you went for it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? That was not obviously why I would buy this, but it's a nice bonus. But not only because it says Canada Dry, which, by the way, that's like a worldwide thing. Are you familiar with what that is?
What, the ginger ale?
Canada Dry ginger ale, yeah.
Yeah. I drink it all the time.
Okay, but Canada Dry brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. So I did like the fact that they had the Canada Dry there, but not because of the word Canada, but because of the fact that when you read it, he's talking about, once upon a time I would have had a drink or whatever, but
that's because he's an alcoholic and all that.
Right. That's not me anymore, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's a reference to his days, as an alcoholic or whatever, Yeah. And I just thought how cool to have such a giant, large image of him.
The coloring change is interesting, though.
The what?
On the coloring change from the actual art to the published page is a lot different. Yeah,
it's pretty horrific, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it is because I think I understand what they're trying to do is show more of the Iron Man outfit, the armor, but it kind of makes it all dull.
Yeah, exactly. And like Marcus says, though, right, with the paper stock being pretty white on the original, it pops a lot. And of course, the colors, I don't know the exact type of airbrush paints that the Steacy used, but my God, the quality was phenomenal. Like when you see these pages in person, it's like you would think this was just painted today.
Yeah.
They have not aged at all. It's unbelievable, the quality of the paint. So yeah, really, really amazing. Yeah, they lighten up his art in the printing process. Yeah, or maybe it's just the way it printed. Maybe just printed badly. Who knows? I don't know. The printing process and the coloring in those days wasn't the greatest, right? So Canada Dry for a dry Tony Stark, exactly. So there you go. So that's kind of a fun piece. We're going to go directly to the next piece, everybody. For that, we revisit the title that we just saw right before Iron Man. And for this, well, let me just show it to you. So this is the cover to Superboy number 59 by Tom Grummett and Karl Kesel. And, well, you guys know I'm a big Grummett fan, but I'm also a big Superboy fan. I love the series. And, I love Superman, anytime. I think most of us, we all love to have pages that include, like, the origin scenes retold from these characters. And so it's kind of cool to have that Superman origin, right, where the spaceship is leaving the exploding Krypton.
Right.
So, yeah, I really love that about it,
Is that the spaceship that Byrne created, or is that somebody else? I don't remember.
It certainly looks like it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I my memory's not good for those types of details, but that's what I figured,
Because I think I remember in the first, Superman #1 or whatever it was, it looked like a rocket ship more than anything. It didn't look like
right.
This.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so I do believe you're right, though. So lots of fun. I just thought it was a great sort of origin cover. And for those of you who don't know, or maybe if you care but don't know, for those of you who are familiar with this version of Superboy, who has been known for many years as Kon-El. So that's his Kryptonian name. They call him Kon-El, Konel. This is the issue in which Superman gives him that name. For those of you who don't know, this Superboy who came out in the 90s, he's a clone. So he's a clone. It's not an actual human being. But
does he have telekinetic powers? That's how he can fly and all that?
Yeah. I forget the
Okay.
Yeah, I forget the name of the actual power, but it's some kind of and he would keep repeating it. There's a running joke that from readers where there's a running joke about how he would constantly mention that he's about to use that power,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how he flew. But yeah, so Superman gives him the name Kon-El in this issue. So that's kind of fun.
I actually like the coloring because it meshes with the kryptonite being green and all that.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, this is one of those rare moments where, again, I do really love the color. I love how bright the green is.
Yeah.
And I love how the spaceship and its trailing fire, rocket blast, sort of also pops out from in front of the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, it's true that the emblem gets lost in the color, of course, but I think it's very effective as a color comic book cover for sure.
Yeah, because it's more about the origin of the character, not the character themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Marcus, that's correct, exactly. Or maybe the clone of Lex Luthor and Shaka Khan. Oh, look at that! Jason's coming through in a pinch. Tactile. I think it's tactile telekinesis. Karl comes in. Yes, Karl came in with that tactile telekinesis. Yes, that's the one. Thank you. But thank you both. Of course, you still get credit. You were remembering correctly. You knew what we were talking about, Jason, but you just didn't remember the name. But yes, thank you, Karl.
No prize.
Thank you. You get the no prize, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Awesome. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit of a groove. We'll go from there to the next one. Now, staying within the super family, we're going from Superboy to a piece featuring the Man. And that is, again, by Tom Grummett, this time inked by Denis Rodier. And I just love it because I love this villain that he's fighting. Check this one out. So this is Action 732 from 1997, and it's Supes against the Atomic Skull.
That's awesome.
I have been on record here many times as saying I just love skulls in illustration in general. Skulls, skeletons. So in comics, any character that has a skull for a head, I love it. I just love it. I don't know why. It looks so cool. And so when your name is Atomic Skull, it just sounds badass, doesn't it? Like, it just sounds like you're powerful and scary, right?
Well, one of my favorite characters or villains from Batman is a corrosive man. And he's pretty much a skull. Just
corrosive
oozy.
Man?
Yeah. Is it corrosive man or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Marcus, you bad boy with your conolingus.
Oh, God. Okay. Come on, Marcus.
King Kong Bundy. All the puns are coming out. Yes, Karl, for you, baby, for you. Leah likes it. That's good. Dan seems to like it, I think. Dennis Rodman inks. Not quite. Kirby Cracklehead. Yes, exactly, CJ.
And they got the Daily Planet in the bottom. That's actually cool too.
I love the aerial view and the fact that we're on top of them, looking down and seeing the buildings. Plus, the main focus is on the Daily Planet.
Yeah, I gotta say that the colors did a smart job fading out the buildings between the characters, because otherwise it would get too busy and the Daily Planet would be gone as far as the focus is concerned. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he thought so. It's clear he thought the same thing.
Yeah. Good job on that one.
Lee agrees with me. He also has a lot of art with skulls and skeletons.
Oh, really? That's so do you collect Ghost Rider at all?
Yeah, do you collect Ghost Rider at all, Lee? Let us know. Hey, what's up, West? What's happening, man? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate it. Looks better than what he is. Oh. Okay, so it's a typical DC crappy DC villain for the crappy Superman Rogues Gallery. Oh well.
Why is Superman's fist glowing but in the cover?
Oh, yeah, that's also what's kind of fun about this. As you see at the top under Action Comics, it says new powers.
New powers. Oh.
Challenges. This is the beginning of the story where he becomes Superman Blue Superman.
Oh,
Blue.
really? Oh, okay. Ah.
Yeah.
I got to read this one then again. I don't remember it at all.
Oh, yeah. Bad guy versus good guy cover, instant classic. Thanks, Dan. That was my high school girlfriend. Nice. Talk about toxic. Thank you, Dan. Love the issue where this Atomic Skull debuted, Man of Steel 5, great Bogdan of art. So, yeah, I love this cover too. Yeah. Thank you, Carl. Her nickname, nice. Nope, Lee does not collect Ghost Rider as much as he loves in Skeletons. Yeah. A one and done villain. Yeah, I don't know what it is with DC. They come up with some cool names and cool looking characters, but then just kind of they just treat them like they're pansies all the time, you know? But whatever. I love the cover. It's fun for me, so I'm good.
It's real nice.
Good with my Atomic Skull.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're picking up steam, and this is moving good. So next one on the docket, everyone. We're going to go to Marvel. And for Marvel, we stick with Tom Grummett. And it's not because I wanted to show off Tom Grummett a lot. It's simply because that's what I happen to collect a lot. So I was just looking for interesting images that I thought you guys might like that you haven't seen. But it just happens to be. A lot of my art is by Tom. So there you go. So let's check that one out. From X-Men Forever, number 17 from the first series. Tom Grummett, inked by Terry Austin from 2010. And I love Mystique. Always loved Mystique. And always loved Nightcrawler as well. And Rogue.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a fan of all three characters. But Mystique, I say I love her, but I don't actually mean I love the character per se. Because I'm kind of indifferent to the character itself. I've always just truly loved the aesthetic appeal of her. I just love how
I
she
got
looks.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read the X-Men Forevers, but what was it about them that made them forever? I mean,
good night, Vivian.
Good night, Vivian.
No, it's just at one point, it's funny because at one point, and I think it's in the last issue of the second series, they kind of finish it off with like, well, I guess we'll all be X-Men forever. Something like that or whatever.
That's corny. Yeah.
Corny. Yeah. I think exactly. I think that was the premise behind it, but I don't know for a fact that's what they thought of when they came up with it. Ask Chris Claremont if you ever see him,
Well,
lips like sugar. Exceptional.
I'm going to ask, was Mystique Nightcrawler's mom, or is that still not a thing?
You're going to have to, I haven't read X-Men since probably 1992 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I read this series, but I don't recall them really sort of touching on the origin or whatever. So I still don't know what the current, what the current origin of the connection between Mystique and Nightcrawler is or not. I don't know. Somebody in the chat will probably tell us. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. This is what I was kind of part of what I was saying earlier this evening about. If I don't like it, I just pretend it doesn't exist. So
yeah, but it kind of makes sense with the cover because Mystique is a mom to Rogue, right? She's her daughter kind of thing, and then you've got Nightcrawler who's her son. So it's kind of like a family picture, going there.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's only if she is the mom.
Yeah, no, that's true. Exactly. Yeah, Austin did a great job on it for sure. Very lovely. That's what it is. But I guess nobody in the chat has chimed in about what nobody really knows for sure. At least nobody in the chat, right? Who knows? Maybe
it would be the dad, right? Who's the dad?
Yeah, I don't know, but
yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. I personally feel like they should have just left well enough alone. I don't know. I feel like I like the giant size one. Not that it was much of an origin, but just the fact that he's just in Germany and he was born, I guess.
I knew. Yeah.
Whatever. Like, you don't always have to fill in the details of an origin. Which is why, to me, to all these, again, speaking of things that I hate, so I pretend they don't exist, I block them out of my mind. Wolverine, since I stopped collecting comics in the early 90s. He's been given an origin. Somebody
Yeah.
decided, right?
Yeah.
Joe decided he had to fill in an origin, backstory, whatever. And,
I dislike that.
And I was like, what? And then before him, they did the whole
Yeah.
Weapon X thing, like, you know, the origin of how he got the metal on the bones.
Yeah.
I love the artwork, Weapon X, but I hated the story. I was like, this is boring. I didn't like that at all. I was just like, cool art, but I just love the fact
I like when the characters are, mysterious. Sorry to interrupt here. Yeah.
No, that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Is I love the fact that's what made Wolverine so cool. Yes, it was the claws in combination with the fact that he was a mystery.
Right.
We didn't even know his second name. And in fact, the name we did know him by, Logan, we don't even know if it was his first name or second name, right? Yeah. We just knew Logan, Wolverine. He's like in the middle of the Canadian forest in the middle of winter, howling at the moon like a mad dog, whatever.
Right.
Right. And whatever the Canadian government, gets to him, whatever, and they use him as a weapon. Yeah, that's it, right? That's it. And all of a sudden he has this backstory where he's been living for hundreds of years and whatever because of the healing factor. Oh God, whatever. Like it's one of those origins you can't just explain in a few sentences, right? It's so convoluted. Like, what's the point, So I pretend none of that exists and whatever. When I have over the years tried to explain to younger kids, I was trying to get hooked on comics. And if they asked me, like, Wolverine, where did Wolverine come from? Whatever. I always said, that's the cool thing. Nobody knows. Mm-hmm. He was found and is howling to the moon like a wild animal, And that, that's what I say. Let them figure out one day if they want to get into comics. Yeah. Let them find out there was they added some stupid origin to it or whatever, So that's just how I look at it. Sorry, too controversial. Oh, what was the Mystique? The Mystique a Nightcrawler thing? Is that what you're talking about? Dude, that's your mom. So many blue characters, who knows? Which timelines, which Earth, right? I guess Kurt got his tail from the dad. Mystique and Destiny are the parents. That's true, because wasn't Destiny and Mystique, weren't they a lesbian couple at one point early on? Or that's what I seem to remember. No?
I thought they were good friends, but then again, I didn't read into it.
Okay.
They could have been lesbians. I mean...
Lee says, it seems like I like Canada Dry more than Wolverine.
Oh, there you go.
That's not true. That's not true. I adore Wolverine like so many other people do. I always have. It's just I hate when the publishers retroactively add more origins. And yes, sometimes like with Hulk, as we learned tonight, Hulk, Bruce Banner, I thought that was brilliant. But in most cases, adding retroactively doesn't usually, in my opinion, it tends to be pretty shitty. So I think it's just an ego thing by the creator. I think it's the creator wanting to say, wow, this character hasn't had an origin ever. I can make my mark in comics by giving him one. Be the one who gave him the origin, whatever. I think it's an ego. Wolverine did not come from Australia, although he spoke as an Australian in the Spidey and His Amazing Friends. I do know that. Remember when he said, what did he say? Hey, babe, want a piece of fruit? Hey, babe, or hey, kid.
I don't remember that.
Oh, remember that? Yeah, want a piece of fruit? Yeah. Yeah, he skewered some fruit off the table with one claw. And that's the X-Men episode. There was 2 X-Men episodes of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. One of them.
Must have missed that one.
I guess you did. This shapeshifted to a man to be the father. Nice. Wolverine came from Ween, Sylvania. Oh, come on, guys. They need new action figures. All right. Let's go.
Next.
Next piece in the show and tells. A handful left, everyone. We go to next is Cyborg Superman. My next favorite DC villain. Check this out. So, from New Titans, number 86. This is at the beginning of Tom Grummett's final chapter of his run. So what I consider his run to last 3 years, and I tend to look at it as 3 different chapters, if you will. And this is the start of the final chapter, his last sort of dozen issues. This particular issue, he had already started working on Superman, and so he was going back and forth. And so on this issue, it had a bunch of fill-in artists, and Jerome K. Moore, who
I love this guy.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that, Hart, because I knew him already because I fell in love with, in 1989 or 90, when DC got the rights to Star Trek, and they started republishing.
You're right.
And they relaunched like 3 or 4 different Star Trek titles, and they got Jerome K. Moore to be the cover artist for all of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, he had this killer pen and ink style that was very photorealistic.
Right.
Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. But nobody ever seemed to care. And throughout all the decades since, every time I mentioned Jerome K. Moore to people, they're like, who? What?
No, I remember seeing him in Who's Who. He would do spot illustrations for certain characters. And I was like, who's this guy? And I tried to find, more stuff about him. But later on, when I was starting collecting, I tried to find more art, and I couldn't. And I found out that through somebody that I knew in the animation industry, that Jerome K. Moore was in animation. He left comics for animation because it was making him more money. But I'm not sure if that's the truth, but that's what I think happened.
Yes, that is one of the reasons. It didn't pay enough, and yes, he was already involved with animation, so that's the reason why.
But yeah, his style is awesome. I wish he would have gone on a regular series because he would have just shined.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's fantastic, and this is one page of a 5-page sequence where Deathstroke meets up with Nightwing, and they're basically talking about how, Nightwing is antagonizing Deathstroke because this is only 2 issues after Deathstroke was forced to kill his own son, Jericho.
Right, Jericho, yeah.
At the end of the Titans Hunt saga, the year-long saga, right? Yeah. And that's why he's antagonizing him, whatever. And that's why you see Deathstroke there screaming at him, saying that, I lost a son, and he backhand. Yeah. And so he did a beautiful 5-page sequence in this issue. And I always wish that these pages would come up. And about 2 decades ago, I noticed that a friend of mine, John Cogan, I don't mind name dropping, for those of you in Southern California, you may know him. He had 3 of the pages, and I admired them for all these years. I let him know how much I always loved them, and always told him how much I would love to have them. And then, like 2 decades later, he reached out. We had been in touch, every now and then, of course.
Right.
But, sometime like a year ago or so, whatever, he reached out to me and said he was finally ready to part, maybe. Or should I say, I reached out to him again. And then I asked him, hey, any chance you'd be willing to sell any of those 3 pages by Jerome K. Moore? And he let me have 1 page. He kept 2. He let me have 2 pages, and he said, I want to keep 1 of them. I said, okay, no problem. And then he reached out to me like a couple of months later, and he says, okay, I think I'm ready. I can part and let you have the last page. And he sold me the 3rd one. And so I have the 3 pages that he owned all those years.
Nice.
I think it's fantastic. I'm so in love with these pages. They'll eventually make it to my gallery, I guess. But happy to have them.
Jerome K. Moore was one of my favorites that I was trying to find early on in my collecting. I could not find anything just anywhere because he didn't do so many. And when Star Trek was there, I wasn't into covers, so which is unfortunate because I should have bought some covers from the Star Trek. Yeah.
And it's funny because those covers, for years I would tell people, man, Jerome K. Moore, those Star Trek covers are so awesome. They're not all awesome. There's a few where I was like, ooh, that was disappointing. It looked more cartoony than sort of realistic. But whatever. Not everybody's going to bat 1,000 all the time.
Right. Yeah.
But for the most part, so many of them are gorgeous, and they would always be cheap because it was Star Trek and there wasn't a lot of demand for Star Trek art. But I'm so happy to report that in the last few months, several of them came out at Heritage. And not only did they sell at Heritage, but for the first time ever, they sold for prices that were commensurate with what I always thought the quality was. And one of them sold for like $5,000.
Nice.
Yeah. A few
it's
others.
About time. Yeah.
Yeah. A few others sold for like between $3,000 and $4,000. I was like, wow. Because forever, for decades, they would, several hundred will get you one. A few hundred would get you one.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody cared,
Yeah.
And finally, people started bidding them up. It's like, oh, wow. Finally getting some respect, So,
yeah.
So very happy about that. But okay, everybody, let us go to the next page. We're going back to Marvel for this next one. And this is awesome to me. I've said many times it's from an underappreciated run because it came right after a super much ballyhooed run already on the same title. It followed it right after the first one ended. You all remember Walt Simonson Thor run? Well, this is the one that came right after. Simonson had so much attention. This one just for so long didn't get much attention. Ron Frenz, I believe Roger Stern writing, but Frenz and Sinnott on Thor, and Ron Frenz was doing a pseudo Kirby-esque approach to the artwork with Joe Sinnott. Kirby's, what a lot of people think was Kirby's best inker. And yeah, it was just phenomenal. It was so fun at the time when this was coming out monthly. And not only because the art was so cool looking, because it looked Kirby-esque, but still it had a feeling of still being modern.
Yeah.
It
was very dynamic.
Sorry?
It was very dynamic.
Yes, very dynamic. Exactly. It was amazing. And but not only that, but the stories were fun. They were so fun. It was one of my favorite Marvel books to read at the time. But like I said, it wasn't getting a lot of attention because people who were on Thor for Simonson, they like in those days, everybody followed artists, and as soon as the big name artists left, okay, everybody left as well. So many people dropped off, which is unfortunate.
I always liked this villain, Annihilus.
Yeah.
Him and Gargoyle were my two favorite Thor villains.
Oh yeah, I like Gargoyle too.
Yeah.
Although Gargoyle was a defender, so he's not a villain.
Right. No, not that Gargoyle. The villain Gargoyle. Or was it, what's his name? Am I getting it wrong?
From what comic?
From Thor. Let's see.
Thor? Gargoyle? Oh, the Gray Gargoyle.
Gray Gargoyle. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Villain. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he would turn people into gargoyle or statues.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Stone, yeah.
Exactly, Marcus. It was the exactly. That's what he was trying to go for. The fewer panels per page, like Kirby, even stylistically, like Kirby. Yeah, the whole thing was just amazing. Indeed, a gem, CJ. Yeah, great Gargoyle. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, turning everybody to stone. I think I have that book. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Yeah, so just a lot of fun, and like I always said, this run, it was just so underappreciated for so long, and I mean, by the not only reading but the artwork, and
exactly.
Finally, a few years ago, people started catching on and buying it or whatever. I paid for that page. I don't mind telling you, I paid $2,500. Like that's considered for that run.
Ouch.
That's like that's a top quality level each for that run. That's the most I've ever seen anybody pay. I've seen at least a handful of pages sell for $2,500. Okay, all top pages. But that's more than I've seen some John Buscema for 1970s pages sell for, which goes, I think it speaks to how people remember this run from the late 80s very fondly, and are finally starting to give it the respect accorded to it,
And I think Sinnott's inks is what brings them to the collecting the pages too. I mean, yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. Like are you kidding me? Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a huge part of it all.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Okay, everybody, thank you. And thanks to everybody. It's not going to go much longer. 4 pieces left, everybody. 4 pieces left. So this next piece, we go back to DC. Just wanted to preface this one by saying I never got my hands on a George Perez classic Teen Titans cover or splash. And when Phil Jimenez came on the scene, I loved his art. I love that he was such a crazy fanatic for George's artwork himself that he patterned his style after him. But what I loved was that even though it had a very, very similar approach to George, you could still tell the difference. You could tell a Jimenez from a George page. Like, it wasn't an absolute cloning of it, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I always loved Phil's work. And so for the last many years, last, I don't know, 7-8 years, I kept telling myself, I don't want to spend the kind of money it takes to get a George Perez cover or splash from Titans. That's way beyond my pay grade anymore, But if I could get something really cool by Jimenez, because to me, he was like the heir apparent to George,
Right.
And if I could get something like that, that'd be so awesome. I'd be so happy. And lo and behold, a few years ago, my ship sailed in on one of those CAFCon. That's what I call it. CAFCon, right? The twice yearly CAF convention on the weekend. Yeah. And I found this page.
Wow.
From
that
JLA,
is a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was a JLA-Z, so it's kind of like a reference comic book.
Right.
And every page is basically a pinup, sort of Marvel Universe style, who's who style, right? I can't believe this is already 21 years old. But yeah, same sort of, that classic balanced compositional layout that George used to do all the time.
Did Phil ever intern with George, or was it he just emulated his style so much?
As far as I know, he was such a lover of his work that it was just that he emulated it. I don't think he ever interned with him. But if anybody knows otherwise, please let me know.
Because it is almost identical to what Perez layout would be. I mean, and looks.
Oh yeah.
If I wasn't scrutinizing it to see the Phil's work in there, I would say at first glance it's Perez.
You might have thought it was Perez, yeah.
Yeah, just the way that he does Robin, because George had a very distinct way of doing Robin, and I always liked that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And of course Starfire, because Starfire's hair was just like Perez's, like, love letter to hairstylists.
Right. Yeah, very much so. I agree. But yeah, it's fun, and I like that little touch of the 1960s Teen Titans in that top circle at the top, right?
Right.
The top
the early team. Yeah.
Yeah, the original team. That's because they really looked like they were more like 8-year-olds, like 8, 9 with muscles,
Yeah. They could kick somebody's butt that was 40 or 38.
Yeah. Exactly. Beast Boy stole Jackson's spacesuit. That's funny. But yeah, so that was for me sort of a mini coup, I guess you could say.
Yeah, this is nice.
Mark said, Robin was the Cyclops of the team, pointing and shouting out plays for the team. Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But
you really scored on this one. This is one of the best I've seen in this whole show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was very happy to get that, especially since I never ended up with a George version of the Titans.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm happy with it. Very happy with it. Okay, 3 more to go, everybody. The next piece in tonight's show and tell is back to Marvel, and that is this. So Captain America 300, the anniversary 300th issue of Captain America, by Mike Zack and inked by the recently dearly departed Paul Neary, who ultimately ended up being the regular penciler on this title.
Right.
After this. And he inked it in a very sort of John Beatty-ish way. So really, really, really nice. I always love this because of the fact that, well, you know, as a 15, 16-year-old, I was a sucker for anniversary issues, right? The 100th, the 200th, the 300th, right?
And it's got a skull.
What was that? And
it's got a skull.
And well, yes, it's got a skull, but also the fact that it's Captain America. To me, and you know, people could of course disagree, but to me, the quintessential rogue in Cap's gallery is the Red Skull. To me, that's who it is, right? When I think of if you have him against any of his villains on the anniversary cover, to me, it would have to be like the one you would want to choose. It should be the Red Skull, just because, man, it's his first one, I guess you could say.
Yeah, every time, yeah.
It's right. I mean, you go because the fact that they go all the way back to the World War II, the Nazi era, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I just think like that's really, really, I don't know. It's just really important. And it came out at a time when Marvel was hitting a lot of these anniversaries, and were disappointing me because you had the Avengers 300, which we have talked about here before, which was probably one of the worst lineups of Avengers I've seen in my the worst actually. I don't mind saying the absolute worst lineup of Avengers with Gilgamesh, the forgotten one, and the one half of the Fantastic Four, and it was the worst half. Like it was awful. And it's sad because it was John Buscema, Tom Palmer cover, and it was just bad. But even that didn't compare to the awfulness of the Fantastic Four 300 cover. John Buscema at his least inspiring. And I'm saying that as one of John Buscema's biggest all-time fans. You know, those of you who remember Fantastic Four 300, oh my God, just the most hideous cover. Like for like, even if it wasn't the 300th issue, it would have been a crappy cover. But
you're talking about the one with the what is it, the Toy Man or whatever's clay?
I don't even remember what's on it. It was so bad. I just remember it's like the thing that sticks out to me is the ugly orangey color. Is that what it is? Is it an orangey color?
I'm looking at 300 and it's pretty bad.
Okay, 300's bad. It's 300. You know?
Yeah, it's got an orangey cover. You're right. Yeah.
Glad you like that one, Mark. Thank you. Zek sells. Yeah, a lot of things sell, don't they? Everything sells these days. Awesome. Thank you, Maki Poo Poo. Zek sells Cap shields by the seashore. Love it. That's awesome. What can you say, Cap and Zek? What else could you want? There you go. But Ruben, Cap shield is laying on the ground. Yeah, hidden by Red Skull. Thanks, Rick. Oh, so funny. The Red Skull is Captain. There we go. Thank you for agreeing, Lee. Yeah, I can't imagine who else it would be. Cap's #1 nemesis. So I think so. Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. So,
all right. So, Ruben, the issue number 300 Fantastic Four has the Puppet Master with Johnny Storm and Alicia Masters getting married.
Oh God, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
It's pretty atrocious.
And it's like an orangey color, light orangey color.
Yeah, it's on the background of the Puppet Master, and he looks like the Joker, bald Joker. It just looks really bad.
Yeah. It's just horrific. It's horrific.
Yeah.
So, and like one thing that did sort of make me sad, and that Marcus brings it up. It's true. Shockingly, they didn't make it double-sized, because that's what they used. That's what they used to do, right? They used to, you know, usually an anniversary issue. Shit, they would often do that for 250 or 150, 250, 350. You know what I mean? So yeah, you would usually make it double size. So it was so disappointing at the time to think, oh my God, a regular, 60-cent issue. But whatever, at least they had a Mike Zeck cover with his best villain. That was really cool, $8 change that. Okay. But yeah, so
nice one.
I think from that era, that was my favorite of the anniversary. The three, I guess they were mostly 300, because the Avengers, the Cap, and the FF were all 300th anniversary issues.
Mm-hmm.
That one's the only one that I really liked. The other ones sucked balls big time. So anyways, that's cool. So okay, thank you everybody. 2 more pieces. Let's get to those. The next piece, we're going back to DC actually for the last 2, and this next one, of course, we're going back To the man, baby, to the man. Pre-crisis, though. And Marcus will appreciate this one. Let's check this one out. The World of Smallville, #2, page 1. Actually, a John Byrne written story. It's a 4-issue miniseries, but it was so cool that they still were willing to give an old school guy from the Silver Age, like Kurt Schaffenberger, a chance to pencil. You know, at a time when you know John Byrne and Perez were still the #1 guys. Jim Lee and Art Adams were becoming the new guys, you know, that were going to take over the mantle, right? And they still gave this guy a job, which was really cool. And of course, what I love is that Alfredo Alcala got the inking embellishing job, which I adore. So and I love the fact that he's on some other planet, or maybe he's on the moon, and he's in the contemplative,
the thinker position.
The thinker, exactly, like Rodin, right? The Rodin thinker.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool too. It's just a nice juxtaposition against what you think of him as the most powerful guy in the universe, and being contemplative is sort of like, oh well, you don't think of him as powerful all of a sudden. He's just sort of sitting there thinking, right? And yeah, I think it's really, really neat. And I don't know, and of course I always love outer space backgrounds. That adds to it. But geez, the rendering on, you know, the formation that he's sitting on, the ground under his feet. Oh, all those inks by Alcala, all that rendering is just so stunning. That's why I always loved his work, you know.
I wonder how long it takes Alcala to do that, because that's a lot of work. That's just, you know, and I don't think that Kurt would have put that much detail.
Marcus is saying this because it came in a frame, and I ended up having it to ship it. I got this on eBay, and I forgot. I think it's the guy. The guy didn't ship to Canada or something or whatever, and or it was going to cost too much to ship to me. And Marcus helped me out in a pinch, and it came.
Oh, really? Nice, Marcus.
Yeah, it came in a crap frame. Whatever. I told him to take it out of the crap frame. So there you go. But thanks again, Marcus. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, cool. Very, very, very awesome. Oh, sorry. Alcala rules. Yeah, nice piece. Thank you, Lee. Very nice splash page. Thanks, Dan. Hope John got some pages. Toilet? Oh,
he's on the crapper. He's on the crapper, it looks like, too. That's Marcus's little joke, yeah.
Thanks, Ian.
Anybody sitting is on the crapper, right?
Oh man, Marcus the friend to all. There you go. There he is. There you go. So yeah, so I really love this page. So there you go, everyone. Let me come back to you. And that's it. So awesome. A few more minutes and we'll all be able to let ourselves go and go do whatever it is we're gonna do. And so we'll go into the last piece here, guys. And you know, I initially had that as my last piece. I figured that was the 20th piece. I appreciate that, Ian. I appreciate that. Thank you. And yes, exactly. Rodin's the thinker. Exactly. That was the last piece. But then I thought, I was like, should I show this? I don't know. What the hell? I'll show it. Whatever. Okay, I'll show it.
Please don't show Elementals 1 again.
It's not the Elementals 1. Not Marvel. Sorry, Marvel fans. I am still on, my friend. You should know by now how long my shows go. 21. Hit me, says Dan. I'm going to hit you right now. DC fans, unite. Tom Grummett fans, unite. Death of Superman era fans, unite. Although there's no Superman on it, technically. But let's check this out, everyone. Here we go. So, from The Adventures of Superman, number 500, page 58, by Tom Grummett and Doug Hazelwood, 1993. This is the birth page of the modern era Superboy.
Nice.
Kon-El, the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. And yeah, man, I just as a fan of Grummett's art in general, and then of course I really love the Superboy run. To be able to own the first appearance, it's meaningful to me, So
yeah, it's a nice page or splash, excuse me. Yeah,
and it's a great image, right? It's a full image facing forward. And even though I did say earlier on in the show that when I was showing the Van Sciver double page splash of the death of Superman, that I started focusing on trying to find some Superman pages from Grummett way too late in the game. And FYI, I should correct myself. I do own Superman interior pages by Grummett. The thing is that I own later ones post the whole death of Superman. Mostly I own electric blue and red Superman pages. So that's it. So classic Superman by Grummett. I only own less than a handful of pieces. And when I say I don't own anything from the whole Death of Superman saga, I tell my friends this all the time. And they say, what are you talking about? Of course you have one. You have the first Superboy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right. Well, that's because I never think of this, right? Because that's not why I bought this. That had nothing to do with me wanting to buy this, right? Yeah. I always forget that this is part of the Reign of Superman saga. So I always forget. So technically, yes, I have something from that saga, but it's not why I bought it. For me, I love it because I love Superboy, and there you go. It's his first appearance, so that's why I have it. So let me take a look at the final comments here, everybody. Let me see. This was a triple-sized issue, says Marcus. It was indeed. And it was indeed a birth, Carlos. Super pants. Where do you live? Do you want to rob me? Is that what you're asking? Is that what you're asking, Maki Poo Poo? I think you want to rob me. I'm getting scared. Absolutely jaw-dropping. Hey, I figured you'd appreciate it, Carl. Give us the play-by-play how you got it. Actually, there's no play-by-play. I ended up getting it from Glenn Brunswick, of all people. So yeah, he had it. I bought it. And funny enough, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Yeah, classic for sure. Nick's red pants, nice. Wow, this is the 90 Superboy page to end all 90 Superboy pages for you. Awesome, Dewey. That's awesome. Glad you liked it. And I had quite a few Superman related stuff for you tonight. So I'm glad you came in tonight. I'm glad that Hart told you to show up tonight. I hope you think it was worth the time. 2 belts in case one breaks. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a fashion style thing, Rubén should cosplay this. I don't know. I don't know if I do the tight thing. I already got the T-shirt, so I'm halfway there, I suppose. Yes, Carlos.
But Rubén, there's no Canada Dry bottle in the page.
Oh, this is garbage.
You got to get that.
Get rid of it. Throw it away.
Just what? Cut out the Ken Stacy Canada Dry and just paste it right over Superboy.
Right. I'll cut it out, or at least make a stat of it, and then paste
it. Exactly. It's just in case you want to keep that Iron Man page.
Yeah, exactly. Carl says, gotta say, I'm quite happy this one is in your collection. Thank you. I gotta say, thank you, and I gotta say, I appreciate that. Thank you, Carl. I hope one day maybe the first appearance splash from that issue of Steel could be in your collection.
There you go.
Why not? Well worth it. Great show. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Draw one in yourself. Ooh, that's another option.
Yeah.
Right? That's another option. Great to hear from collectors that are passionate about books and art I don't really read. Very cool. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great show, Rubén and Hart. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed highlights from your collection. I appreciate it. Have a good night, Lee. Thank you for sticking around all this time. Thank you. To all of you, of course. Thank you for hanging in. Great show as always. Thank you, CJ. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you, man. We got Rick. Awesome show and tell. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I'm glad you guys stuck around. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It was weird. It was weird for, like I said, it was weird for me to have to do this, like a show on my own art. I never really intended to do that. That's how badly I ran out of things I could do, and that's how difficult it's been to get guests. So I figured, okay, it's an idea.
Hit those likes, guys.
Let me just say, Karl, give you the Cyborg. You would rather have the Cyborg Soups debut. It came out. Did you know it came out on auction a few years ago? I bid on it, but I couldn't decide how much it was worth. And it ultimately sold for $7,700, which at the time I thought, that's like a lot of money. But I also was thinking it might go to 10 grand, you know? But I felt nervous about it. I was like, God, am I going crazy? Is that too much? And I ended up bidding 6,600. So I wasn't even the underbidder on that one, you know. But looking back on it now I wish I had gone strong. I wish I would have believed in my thought process that it could be a $10,000 or $12,000 piece and just gone for it, you know. Oh God, I wish I had that now. I so regret.
Rubén, did it go for 8K then, or what was it? 77?
It went for 77.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many years was that?
Just a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, something like that.
Oh,
yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think it's probably accumulated some profit after that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Not too long after, I'm sure. The Superboy is not on the wall. I mentioned earlier, Carlos. I don't have currently any comic book art on the wall. I never have had. Good night, Dan. Thank you so much for hanging in. Appreciate it.
Night, Dan.
Happy to see you again, Maki Poo Poo. Thank you. If not first appearance of Steel, at least get the Upper Deck Shaq rookie card. Steel is my least favorite of those Adventures 500 splashes. Wow. Okay. All right. Whatever. But, you know, I'm sure if you had the opportunity to get it for a reasonable price, I'm sure you'd try to do it. So thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in, dropping by, and hanging out, man. I appreciate that. It was before I was really paying attention to auctions. Okay, there you go. So there you go. Yeah. You should have gone full Kazam for Steel. Like I said, leave that to Karl. That's a leave it. Oh,
yeah, that's a Karl thing.
No Supergirls all night. That's right. Cheers, fellas. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you. Likewise, Jeff. Have a good one, man. And of course. Mickey cornered all the Supergirls. That is true, actually. It's funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's funny, but true. Like, if you want Supergirl art and you can't find it, there's a damn good chance it's because it's in Mickey's collection. So, yeah, there you go. Happy Easter again to you too, Ian. Thank you. Thanks for dropping in. Everybody, thanks so much again. Just want to mention that for the same reason that tonight I ended up making a last-minute show and tell of my own collection. That doesn't mean that I've caught up or in any way. I'm still struggling. So I have nothing in terms of a thumbnail to show you for next week because I'm literally, again, stuck. I've got no ideas for shows. Yeah, I'm at ground zero right now. I'm going to have to come up with something. You guys all know, though, that in a worst case scenario, if worst comes to worst, I will show up and do a hangout and just shoot the shit, whatever you guys want to talk about. So that'll happen at the very least. But I'd like to get something sort of planned with a guest if I can. So I will try. I will try, but it's like now at this point, it's six days, and especially if it's a show and tell, that takes time for me to prepare all the visuals and stuff. So we'll see. But again, a quick shout out to any of you if you happen to be watching, especially on Rewind. Not many people left here tonight, but if you're watching on Rewind, you're listening to me say this. If you'd like to be a part of this, get in on it. It's a lot of fun. Do a show and tell with me. I will do all the work for you. I will pick all the pieces. I will make the slides, blah, blah, blah. You just have to show up and talk to us a little bit about how you got into collecting and a little bit about, what you love about the pieces that you're showing. So reach out to me, please, everybody. That would be awesome. And that's it. We have a sucker for the 70s Hot Pants Supergirl art. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you are. get Nick on again. I'll get Nick on again one day, but he's super busy, so I got to plan it in advance with him. Get Grummett. I'd like to get Grummett again. He's always very busy, and I don't know if he would want to. He wouldn't want to do more than probably like a 1 hour type thing. So yeah, I don't know that he'd want to do it, but I'd like to. So I'll ask him eventually. So thank you, Dewey. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, everybody. And
see you, Dewey.
To you, my friend, as always, thanks. I can't thank you enough, Hart.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. Everyone, whatever happens, I will see you for sure next week. Same time, same channel. I hope it's with a plan of some sort. But if not, man, we'll just shoot the shit. I hope you guys don't mind. If it's just one of those type of, we'll talk about whatever we come up with to talk about in the moment kind of thing shows, So that's it. Anybody want to see anything from my gallery or Hart's gallery, you can check we have the links right below in the description as always. And that's it. So don't forget to be on the lookout for any new videos this week from either Lee Parmenter, Karl at Karl's Collection, maybe Karen from Karen's pages. And in the meantime, if you check out those, also don't forget to go to Nick's channel Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific for the next claim show. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you. And we'll see you here again next Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific.
Have a good show or night.